Hi everyone, please subscribe to my channel. Blood Immortal Venerable, see playlist for other chapters and novels. Join now our Telegram channel now and enjoy exclusive early access. t.me/blood_immortal_official. I do not translate the novels. Credits goes to original translator and author of the novel. I only make it as an audiobook so it would be easier to just listen while doing other things. Credits goes to the author of the novel. I convert stories to audiobook for mental health, for multitasking purpose, for accessibility and time saving. Listening to audiobook is also beneficial for people who have disability. It improves our listening skills and improve our English comprehension, vocabulary and other things. So, thank you for listening. Thank you and thank you very much for your support. Chapter 181. The Treasure in Hand, The Fury of the Golden Winged Peng. In the blink of an eye, 2 days had passed. Feng Lushui had thoroughly explored the remaining areas of Zone 13 and reported back to the base before returning. Meanwhile, Yi Tian continued to monitor the situation there, with the base's permission, reporting back daily. 3 more days went by. Yi Tian's copy talent cooldown ended. He could copy again. However, before making his move, he sent a message to the base. The content of the message was a lie, claiming he had noticed some unusual movements in the beast nest and requested the base to send one of the top 36 emperors for reinforcement, preferably one of the more powerful ones. This was because once he stole the void flower, the emperor-level beast, the golden winged Peng, would surely be enraged. By then, this entire area would be engulfed in the fury of the golden winged Peng. If the base didn't take measures, it could easily suffer significant damage. After sending the message, Yi Tian, code-named 610, entered the cave. Soon, he approached the golden winged Peng. Mystic level flight talent, copy. Top tier slashing talent, copy. After copying these 2 talents, Yi Tian then set his sights on the void flower. Closer, even closer. Quickly, Yi Tian was within arm's reach of the void flower. Whoosh, Yi Tian's speed reached its peak, grabbing the void flower in one swift motion and storing it in his spatial equipment. Then, he immediately activated teleportation, moving through the channel within. He didn't choose to turn invisible while retreating because it was too slow. If the golden winged Peng attacked in a frenzy, he would still be within range of the attack. The golden winged Peng's attack was so powerful that even a slight graze could cause serious injury. Woo! The cry of the golden winged Peng echoed. It opened its eyes and saw its guarded treasure, the void flower, gone. In the next instant, sensing Yi Tian's aura, it didn't hesitate to spread its golden wings, slicing through the void. Boom! Golden light, as if tearing through the void, enveloped the entire underground space. This was the result of the golden winged Peng's numerous wing slashes in an instant. Numerous beasts died within the golden light, even some saint-level beasts were affected. The golden winged Peng didn't care about the deaths beneath its wings, its sole focus was to kill its enemy. Boom, boom, boom. The sturdy underground stone walls were also struck by the golden light, turning into countless dust particles. Meanwhile, Yi Tian rapidly teleported, avoiding these attacks. In an instant, Yi Tian teleported to the outside world and continued teleporting. After several teleports, he quickly activated his invisibility talent and entered a river. This was part of his pre-planned escape route. Just moments after Yi Tian turned invisible and entered the river, a gigantic golden winged Peng appeared above, its divine sense covering tens of thousands of miles, scanning inch by inch the earth, rivers, and all weaker beings and beasts. In an instant, the golden winged Peng had scanned an area of 100,000 miles but couldn't find any trace of Yi Tian. At the bottom of the river, Yi Tian hid within the mud, his top-tier invisibility talent fully activated. Several times, he was swept by the powerful divine sense of the golden winged Peng, but it didn't cause any disturbance. Fortunately, his top-tier invisibility talent was powerful enough, and since the golden winged Peng didn't have any special talents targeting invisibility, it couldn't detect Yi Tian. But Yi Tian had just taken a huge risk. If he had been even a moment slower, he would have been discovered. Within 100,000 miles. Unable to find Yi Tian, the golden winged Peng started attacking in a frenzy. Piece by piece, the land was shattered by the golden winged Peng, countless beasts slain by its blade. It had gone completely mad. Meanwhile, the base had received the news. An emperor ranked in the top 36 had taken action. Yi Tian, unaware of the events unfolding outside, didn't dare to show himself, not even daring to use his disguise talent. Even if he disguised himself as a beast, the golden winged Peng had killed even its own saint-level beast subordinates. Half a day later, the sounds of battle outside ceased. Yi Tian finally breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, I chose this plan. If I had tried the disguise approach, I might have been slain by its wings immediately. Yi Tian felt relieved. At the same time, he realized he had overestimated his invisibility talent. Against a formidable enemy, invisibility was useless. The opponent's attacks could cover thousands, even tens of thousands of miles, indiscriminately striking everything within range. Invisibility did not mean disappearance. If hit by an attack, he would still die. After waiting another half-day, Yi Tian took advantage of the night to leave the river in a shadow state, then teleported multiple times to approach the base. Only when he entered the base did he finally feel a huge weight lift from his heart. Just 10 minutes after his return, an emperor summoned him for a discussion. It was the Kuruo Emperor. In the fortress of the Kuruo Emperor, Yi Tian met him. "Kuruo Emperor, what do you need me for?" Yi Tian asked. "We thought you had perished. It's surprising that you came back alive," the Kuruo Emperor said, genuinely astonished. "By sheer luck," Yi Tian replied calmly. "What happened out there? Why was that Emperor-level beast so furious?" the Kuruo Emperor asked. Yi Tian was the only human present at the scene, so only he could provide the details. Yi Tian quickly replied, "A beast killed a few saint-level beasts and broke into their nest. I don't know what it did, but the big bird came out, furiously slaughtering everything. I stayed invisible and hid, luckily avoiding its attacks. I heard the sounds of battle later and stayed hidden until it ended before leaving." So that's what happened. The Kuruo Emperor believed Yi Tian's story, knowing well the terror of the golden-winged Peng. Even with Yi Tian's invisibility talent, if he were discovered, he wouldn't have escaped. Thus, he didn't think Yi Tian had provoked the golden-winged Peng. However, he was wrong. It was indeed the golden-winged Peng's doing. "Kuruo Emperor, how did the battle turn out?" Yi Tian asked curiously. One of the top 36 emperors was seriously injured. In the end, the battle-axe emperor personally intervened, severely injuring the opponent. But the opponent was too fast and escaped without a trace. The Kuruo Emperor explained. Even the battle-axe emperor couldn't keep them. Yi Tian was surprised. Yes, the Kuruo Emperor nodded. That bird must have a mystic-level speed talent and its cultivation level was not weak. Its speed is faster than the battle-axe emperor's. After being severely wounded, it activated its bloodline power, boosting its speed, so the battle-axe emperor naturally couldn't catch up and gave up the chase. According to my estimation, that bird's strength is at least on par with the top 5 on the emperor list. That's incredibly strong, Yi Tian exclaimed. But one thing the Kuruo Emperor got wrong was that the opponent possessed a mystic-level flight talent, not a mystic-level speed talent. You may go back now. You did well in this incident. Without your early warning, we might have only sent a few ordinary emperors to handle it, which could have led to serious losses, the Kuruo Emperor praised. It's nothing, just a small matter. Yi Tian was somewhat embarrassed. This incident was his doing, and if the Kuruo Emperor and the injured emperor knew about it, they might want to kill him. After excusing himself, Yi Tian returned to his castle to rest for a while before preparing to integrate the 2 talents he had copied. Chapter 182. The appearance of a god-tier talent. First, I'll integrate the mystic-level flight talent, Yi Tian decided. The mystic-level flight talent and mystic-level speed talent seemed similar, but they were actually different in application. The flight talent included flying and speed, while the speed talent was solely about speed. In many environments, the flight talent was much more useful than the speed talent. For instance, in areas where king-level or even saint-level flight was suppressed, those with the flight talent could still fly. Yi Tian chose to copy the mystic-level flight talent so he could fly quickly while invisible without causing any disturbance. Flying with saint-level power alone would be noisy and not conducive to stealth. Merge. Boom. The mystic-level flight talent began to merge with Yi Tian. 10 minutes later, the merging was complete. Yi Tian checked his talent status, and the flight talent had upgraded from high level to mystic level. Flight talent. Mystic. This was Yi Tian's 4th mystic level talent. Next, Yi Tian started to integrate the top-tier slashing talent. The integration was almost painless, and he successfully merged the talent. He discovered that this talent was quite extraordinary. It can imbue any weapon or body part with slashing properties, capable of cutting through extremely tough materials. Yi Tian was very interested in this ability. He had an idea and decided to test it. He took out 2 high-level Yuan force weapons, holding one in each hand. He used the same force to collide the weapons, but he imbued one of them with the slashing talent. Crack. One of the high-level Yuan force weapons shattered like tofu, while the other remained undamaged, not even a notch on it. Amazing. With the top-tier slashing talent, I can easily shatter others' weapons. And when facing beasts with hard bodies, I can cut through their scales, shells, or bones, gaining an advantage in battle. Yi Tian exclaimed excitedly. He guessed that the golden winged pung had imbued its wings with the slashing talent, making them an invincible weapon. If I imbue my Morning Star level weapon with it, other Morning Star level weapons will also be easily shattered. Yi Tian thought, holding his Morning Star level weapon. This weapon, surpassing top-tier Yuan Force divine weapons, was from the temple space. Initially, he didn't know its level until he consulted the Frenzied Sword Saint and learned it was a Morning Star level weapon, a tier many Saint level weapon masters didn't possess. Both the Mystic level flight talent and the top-tier slashing talent greatly satisfied Yi Tian, but what he desired most was the Void Flower. Taking a deep breath, Yi Tian slowly took out the Void Flower. His longing for it reached its peak as he held it close. He couldn't resist anymore. Whoosh! He swallowed the Void Flower, and a surge of energy flooded into the mark of his copy talent. Yi Tian passed out instantly, as if in deep sleep. His copy talent began a transformative process after absorbing the energy of the Void Flower. The next day, early morning, Yi Tian woke up and slowly opened his eyes. I passed out again, he murmured. First thing, he connected with his copy talent to understand the changes. This method was suitable for understanding other talents as well as the copy talent. Soon, Yi Tian was aware of the changes in his copy talent. Firstly, its coverage range had increased to 5,000 meters, and the cooldown period had been reduced to half a month, with the number of copies remaining at 2. This meant that Yi Tian could quickly copy any great talent he encountered, even if his copy talent was still cooling down. Such changes were undoubtedly fantastic. But the real transformation was not these, but merging. His copy talent could now merge talents. Mystic level talents could merge into a brand new talent that surpasses the mystic level. This was the next step for those who possessed mystic level talents. However, not all mystic level talents could merge. They must have compatibility, otherwise, the merging would be impossible. For example, a speed talent and a defense talent could never merge, they have no compatibility at all. Similarly, a strength talent and a speed talent could not merge. My speed talent and flight talent can actually merge. Yi Tian saw a merge button appear between his mystic level flight talent and mystic level speed talent on his retinal display. Merging can only be used once a month, but right now, I can only merge these two talents, so a 1-month cooldown is nothing. Without hesitation, Yi Tian activated the merge function. Boom! The mystic level speed talent and the mystic level flight talent began to merge, bringing intense pain. Yi Tian endured it, almost rolling on the ground in agony. However, the thought of having a talent beyond the mystic level after the merge excited him. After half an hour, the merging was finally complete. Check. Yi Tian eagerly looked at his talent status. The original mystic level speed talent and mystic level flight talent had completely disappeared, replaced by a new talent, freewebnovel.com. Extreme speed talent. God level. God level talent, Yi Tian exclaimed in surprise. This was a wholly new level of talent, breaking the limits of the mystic level. God, what a noble, supreme word. The use of God to describe this level of talent indicated its immense power. So, a single talent can only reach mystic level at most, but merging two mystic level talents can elevate it to God level. Yi Tian realized. At that moment, he understood that some talents, even if not God level, like soul attack, time, space, or soul transfer talents, were as useful as God level talents. Communicating with his God-level extreme speed talent through the talent imprint, he understood its amplification effect. 300 times. Yi Tian was astonished. Such a boost to speed was incredible. An increase of 300 times in speed was unimaginable. With the God-level extreme speed talent, Yi Tian's strength had improved again. Feeling greatly uplifted, Yi Tian left his fortress and wandered outside. Unknowingly, he arrived at the palace of the Battle Axe Emperor. 2 king-level guards stood at the entrance of the palace. Right, I still have the longevity pills. I can trade them with the Battle Axe Emperor for that martial technique. If I get that technique, my strength will definitely soar. Yi Tian thought. So, he approached the palace. Please inform the Battle Axe Emperor that Yi Tian seeks an audience regarding the longevity pills, he requested. Saint Yi Tian, we can only inform our superior, we can't directly notify the master, one of the king-level guards apologetically said. Suddenly, a voice descended, no need to inform, come in directly. It was the voice of the Battle Axe Emperor. Chapter 183. Legendary Sword Technique, Starfall Slash. Please come in. The two king-level guards stepped aside. When even the Battle Axe Emperor himself allowed Yi Tian to enter, they dared not obstruct him. Yi Tian walked into the palace of the Battle Axe Emperor and met the strongest man of Zonghai Super Base in the depths of the palace. Greetings to the Battle Axe Emperor. Yi Tian greeted with a salute. Instinctively, he checked the Battle Axe Emperor's talent status. Human, Lin Zan, Cultivation Talent, Moonlight, Strength Talent, Mystic, Speed Talent, Mystic, Defense Talent, Mystic, Axe Talent, Top Tier. 3 Mystic Talents and a top-tier Battle Axe Weapon Talent. Truly fitting of the Battle Axe Emperor, no wonder he is the strongest in Zonghai Super Base. Yi Tian inwardly praised. However, even the Battle Axe Emperor did not possess a god-level talent, showing that there were no god-level talents in Zonghai Super Base. The only god-level talent was Yi Tian's own extreme speed talent. Yi Tian, you mentioned at the entrance of my palace that you have information about longevity pills. Is it true? The Battle Axe Emperor was extremely excited, even impatient. He had long been seeking information about longevity pills. No one in Zonghai Super Base could refine them, not just because of the lack of ingredients but also because it required a Morning Star level alchemist, which the base did not have. Yes, and I have one with me, Yi Tian said. Do you really have it? The Battle Axe Emperor's breathing quickened, astonished that such a long-sought item had appeared so unexpectedly. Yes, but I have a condition, Yi Tian said. Any condition, as long as it's within my power, I will agree, the Battle Axe Emperor stated authoritatively, as the top figure in Zonghai Super Base. I heard you have a sword technique surpassing the golden level. I want to exchange for that sword technique, Yi Tian requested. Oh, you want to exchange for that legendary sword technique? The Battle Axe Emperor was a bit surprised, then said, that legendary sword technique is excellent, indeed beyond the golden level, but it requires extremely high talent, probably beyond top-tier sword talent. I don't recommend you choose this condition. Legendary sword technique. Yi Tian finally learned the name of this level of sword technique, then resolutely said, Battle Axe Emperor, I am only interested in the sword technique and am only willing to exchange it for the legendary sword technique. Very well, but once the exchange is complete, you cannot regret it if you gain no benefit from the legendary sword technique, the Battle Axe Emperor warned. I will not regret it, Yi Tian nodded. The Battle Axe Emperor produced the secret manual of the legendary sword technique, and Yi Tian took out the jade bottle containing the longevity pill. Indeed, a longevity pill. The Battle Axe Emperor was overjoyed upon seeing it. He had researched many ancient texts about longevity pills and knew exactly how to recognize them. He was certain that this pill was a genuine longevity pill. Meanwhile, Yi Tian was also thrilled as he took the legendary sword technique into his hands. Flipping through it, he saw the ancient and imposing characters. Starfall Slash. The 3 characters exuded an overwhelming aura, as if capable of slashing through the sun, moon, and stars. Just a quick glance assured him that this sword technique indeed surpassed the golden level. Battle Axe Emperor, I shall take my leave to study the sword technique, Yi Tian said, preparing to depart. Go ahead, go. The Battle Axe Emperor waved his hand, eager for Yi Tian to leave quickly. This was not because he wanted to rush Yi Tian out, but because once Yi Tian left, he could immediately see his wife and have her take the longevity pill to extend her life by 100 years. Back at his residence, Yi Tian activated the defensive and soundproofing arrays, and eagerly began studying the legendary sword technique, Starfall Slash. Half an hour later, he reflected, it's indeed complicated, much more so than any golden-level sword technique, but its power is incomparable. Just the entry level of this legendary sword technique can amplify attack power by 30 times. The minor level can reach 50 times, the major level 80 times, and at the perfected level, it can amplify attack power by 100 times. Yi Tian was truly amazed by the power of the legendary sword technique. freewebnovel.com. The sword technique could stack with the power of a strength talent, amplifying it by 100 times if both were at the mystic level, leading to an overall amplification of 10,000 times. Such an amplification could even defy the gods. It's too difficult. Mastering a legendary sword technique to perfection is many times harder than acquiring a divine skill, Yi Tian thought after reading. With his current level of swordsmanship, he could only master the Starfall Slash to the entry level. The entry level of Starfall Slash will also greatly increase my strength. I shouldn't be too greedy, this is satisfying enough, Yi Tian smiled slightly. In the following days, he dedicated himself to practicing Starfall Slash. The base had various training rooms, and as long as Yi Tian didn't activate his mystic level strength talent, his power wouldn't damage them. Having just completed a major mission, he wasn't expected to take on another one for at least a month, unless something extraordinary happened. 20 days later, Yi Tian finished his training because a new mission arrived. Unfortunately, he hadn't mastered Starfall Slash to the entry level yet, only barely touching its threshold, unable to unleash its true power. Given another month, he was confident he could reach the entry level. New mission: assist Empress Yu in tracking the trail of a ferocious beast. Yi Tian was somewhat reluctant about this mission. Empress Yu was one of the 36 emperors, being involved in such a mission seemed too dangerous. I'll go and see if I can change this mission, Yi Tian thought, heading to Empress Yu's palace, the mission's gathering point. Empress Yu. Yi Tian saw a woman, Empress Yu herself, and beside her were the Battle Axe Emperor, Blood Eye Emperor, and other emperors. Yi Tian, you've arrived. The Battle Axe Emperor greeted him warmly, grateful for the longevity pill that extended his wife's life by 100 years, in exchange for a legendary sword technique that wasn't very useful to him. Greetings to all the emperors. Yi Tian greeted. Then, he said, Sirs, can someone else take this mission? I'm only at the saint level, and assisting Empress Yu might not be appropriate. Kid, are you afraid of dying? Blood Eye Emperor, with his 3 eyes, taunted. Yi Tian rolled his eyes silently. Wasn't that obvious? Yi Tian, the opportunity to assist Empress Yu is a dream for many. How can you be unwilling? The Battle Axe Emperor joked. Damn bro, what about your wife? After all, Empress Yu, despite being over 70 years old, was the youngest among the emperors. She established the Moon God sect at 20 and quickly raised it to one of the 4 great powers. She was also the fastest to advance to emperor level and remain single. At her age, which was like a young woman in her late teens in terms of human lifespan, she was an unattainable goddess in many people's hearts. Unfortunately, Empress Yu's personality was too cold, and many couldn't even get close to her. The Battle Axe Emperor and others stayed 10 meters away from her, as getting too close would invoke her aura, pushing them away. However, they knew that Yi Tian had to get close to her for the mission, a task that many would envy. Chapter 184. Dragging Empress Yu into flight. Yi Tian, completely unaware of the situation, opened his mouth to ask, Honorable Emperors, with so many saints and even emperors among you, why am I chosen to assist Empress Yu? I request the emperors to enlighten me. Empress Yu, not a man of many words, simply stared at Yi Tian with cold eyes, as if to say, Boy, it's your luck to assist me, and you even think of refusing. The Battle Axe Emperor explained, Yi Tian, you must possess a top-tier talent for invisibility, right? It is said that this talent can even make it hard for emperor-level beasts to detect your presence, and you can also turn others invisible along with you. We have lost many powerful beings in our quest to find the beast with the soul talent. After startling the snake in the grass last time, it has become even harder to locate it. Therefore, we want you to turn invisible with Empress Yu. Empress Yu holds a treasure that can protect 2 people from soul attacks. This time, your mission with Empress Yu is to find that beast with the soul talent. Once found, we will all move out to slay it. Quote. Yi Tian didn't know what to say anymore. The emperors had even figured out his top-tier invisibility talent, making it hard to refuse. Is there any benefit for me? Yi Tian shamelessly asked. Swish, swish, swish. Several emperors stared at Yi Tian, wishing they could pry open his head to see what he was thinking. This was for the entire base's sake, yet he still wanted benefits. If this matter is successful, I can allow you to train in our Moon God sect's Moon God Pavilion for a month, said Empress Yu, who had been silent. freewebnovel.com. Empress Yu, aren't your terms too generous? I begged you so many times, even promised many benefits, just to let a genius from my Witch God Temple train in the Moon God Pavilion for 10 days, and you refused. Now, you're letting him train there for a whole month. The Blood Eye Witch Emperor jealously exclaimed. The Battle Axe Emperor and the other emperors also envied Yi Tian, the benefit was too great. All the emperors, what is the Moon God Pavilion? Yi Tian asked with some confusion, sensing that this Moon God Pavilion must be something extraordinary, as all the emperors envied him. Empress Yu explained while looking at Yi Tian, the Moon God Pavilion is another treasure I accidentally obtained. One can rapidly develop their brain domain by paying a certain price to open it. I crossed from the saint level to the emperor level in just 3 short years with its help. But the cost of opening the Moon God Pavilion is too great. If it weren't for an amazing ancient text and inheritance I obtained, providing me with ample resources, I wouldn't have been able to open it for 3 years, but it almost exhausted all my resources. Since then, I rarely open the Moon God Pavilion, even for the saintesses. If you help me complete this mission, I will make an exception and let you train there for a month. I'm willing, Yi Tian quickly said. This was a great opportunity. He didn't know such a place existed before. Empress Yu, with merely a moonlight level talent, advanced from the early saint level to the emperor level in just 3 years. What kind of speed was that? Other moonlight level talents would need 50 or 60 years to make the same progress. This showed the extraordinary effects of the Moon God Pavilion. With his triple time acceleration and dawn level cultivation talent, the effects in the Moon God Pavilion would be even more miraculous. His cultivation would surely surge. He would be foolish not to accept such a deal. Since you've agreed, let's set off. Empress Yu led the way, and Yi Tian followed him, leaving behind the Battle Axe Emperor, Blood Eye Witch Emperor, and others, looking at each other in dismay. Battle Axe Emperor, why would Empress Yu make such an outrageous promise? The Blood Eye Witch Emperor wondered. In his view, Yi Tian wouldn't refuse the task even with minimal benefits. I don't understand. The Battle Axe Emperor shook his head. Empress Yu has risen too quickly. Her strength is not just what's listed on the Emperor's ranking. If it weren't for her revealing her true strength last time, you might have stayed there for good. She's too mysterious, and I even suspect she's still holding back. I can't fathom her thoughts. Yes, I thought my strength was greater than Empress Yu's, but she has surpassed me. With her rate of progress, perhaps in another 10 years, even your position will be in jeopardy. Joked the Blood Eye Witch Emperor. Ha, first place on the Emperor's list, if someone surpasses me, I'll be happy. The Battle Axe Emperor laughed heartily, not caring about the mere title of first on the Emperor's list. Outside the base, Yi Tian looked at Empress Yu with curiosity and excitement due to her promise, yet he was also not foolish. It was just a mission, and merely an assistance role, yet such a great reward was promised. Yi Tian couldn't believe there wasn't something more to it. Of course, he wasn't foolish enough to ask outright. If he angered Empress Yu and lost the reward, he would have nowhere to cry. In any case, he didn't sense any malice from Empress Yu, instead, he felt a faint sense of benevolence. Yes, this was a man's intuition. After flying a certain distance, Empress Yu spoke, "All right, you grab my hand and activate your invisibility talent." Okay, Yi Tian grabbed Empress Yu's hand, failing to notice the fleeting blush on her stunning face, which quickly returned to normal. Invisibility talent, activate. In an instant, both Yi Tian and Empress Yu disappeared completely. Empress Yu, I have a flying talent that ensures there are no energy fluctuations, much more secretive than flying on your own. Let me carry you, we'll be less likely to be detected, Yi Tian suggested. Agreed, Empress Yu nodded. Thus, Yi Tian, holding Empress Yu's hand, activated his flying talent and swiftly flew through the void. During the flight, a thought suddenly struck Yi Tian. Empress Yu's hand is so soft. If Empress Yu knew what Yi Tian was thinking, she might have kicked him out of the sky. Days passed, and Yi Tian and Empress Yu continued their search for the beast, but to no avail. They delved deeper into the world of ferocious beasts, whose vastness was unknown to anyone. In the blink of an eye, half a month passed. One day, Yi Tian discovered a clash between Emperor-level ferocious beasts. The battle was so intense that it was impossible to ignore. The area of 100,000 miles seemed like a battlefield, with the two Emperor-level ferocious beasts rivaling the power of the 36 emperors. At that moment, Empress Yu took out a mirror. After channeling Yuan force into it, the mirror displayed a clear image of the battlefield. What treasure is this? Yi Tian curiously asked. The Moon God Mirror. It can survey the surroundings within a radius of 200,000 miles and is not easily detected, Empress Yu explained. Amazing, Yi Tian thought. Empress Yu seemed like a walking treasury. He wanted to drain her treasures. Suddenly, one of the beasts on the Moon God Mirror caught Yi Tian's attention. Golden Winged Pung, he exclaimed. Chapter 185, The Soul Spike Talent. Yi Tian looked at the Golden Winged Pung in front of him and realized it was the same one he had encountered before. The likelihood of it being another Golden Winged Pung was slim, as such coincidences were rare in the world. Clearly, after being defeated by the Battle Axe Emperor, this Golden Winged Pung had come to this place. What had transpired next was unknown, but it had started fighting another Emperor-level ferocious beast. Yi Tian, we have a lead. The voice of Empress Yu reached Yi Tian's ears. What lead? Yi Tian turned to look at Empress Yu. The big eagle is probably the same one you discovered last time. However, the one it's fighting with is the same Emperor-level ferocious beast we battled last time. Its speed is incredibly fast. The reason the Emperor-level ferocious beast with the soul talent was able to escape last time was largely due to this creature's help. Now that we have found this Emperor-level ferocious beast, if we follow it, we might be able to locate the one with the soul talent, Empress Yu explained. But I can't keep up with its speed. Yi Tian frowned. His cultivation level was still too weak. Even with his god-level extreme speed talent activated, he couldn't catch up to the opponent. Let me carry you then. Although it will cause some yuan force fluctuations, the Emperor-level ferocious beasts are loud when they fly anyway. If we follow behind, we won't be too conspicuous and are unlikely to be discovered, suggested Empress Yu. Okay, Yi Tian agreed with Empress Yu's plan. Immediately after, Yi Tian focused his gaze on the other Emperor-level ferocious beast. Capable of battling the golden winged pung, this beast's strength was evident, and it seemed to have the upper hand. It was unclear if this was due to the golden winged pung not fully recovering from its injuries. From its appearance, the Emperor-level ferocious beast looked like a porcupine, with incredibly tough spikes covering its body and a rapid healing ability. The golden winged pung's slashes had shattered its spikes, but they quickly grew back. In contrast, the pung was riddled with bloody holes from the porcupine beast's attacks, looking quite pitiful. Yi Tian and Empress Yu observed the battle for an hour, after which the golden winged pung fled. The porcupine Emperor-level ferocious beast, having also expended a lot of energy, did not pursue and instead roared a few times before turning and leaving. Follow it, Empress Yu, holding on to Yi Tian, flew swiftly. Empress Yu's speed was not far behind the porcupine Emperor-level ferocious beast. The latter didn't seem to be flying at full speed but at a leisurely pace. It was unaware that two humans were following it, still excited about its recent victory. After a while, the porcupine Emperor-level ferocious beast landed to hunt and eat several large king-level beasts before continuing its journey. An hour later, the porcupine Emperor-level ferocious beast finally stopped and descended into a vast valley. From within the valley, faint breaths of other Emperor-level ferocious beasts could be detected. Yi Tian, it's up to you now. Empress Yu stopped flying and spoke to Yi Tian. Yi Tian, holding tightly to Empress Yu's hand, activated his flying talent and moved slowly, not daring to fly too quickly. This place might be where the Emperor-level ferocious beast with the soul talent was hiding, possibly a lair of ferocious beasts. Who knew what special beasts might be inside? If any of them could see through his invisibility talent, it would spell trouble. Even the mighty Empress Yu was just one person, and it would be challenging to face so many Emperor-level ferocious beasts. Caution was necessary. At this moment, Yi Tian was not so much flying as he was floating at low altitude, using only his eyes to observe the surroundings. As they continued to float along, a saint-level ferocious beast passed by them. Gradually, Yi Tian and Empress Yu ventured deeper into the valley and began to spot more Emperor-level ferocious beasts. Empress Yu frowned upon seeing this. Clearly, the number of Emperor-level ferocious beasts had increased significantly since their last encounter, indicating that they were stepping up their protection for the beast with the soul talent. In secret, Yi Tian's copying talent covered a range of 5,000 meters ahead, using it instead of other detection methods. This talent only scanned for others' talents, but that was enough to deduce a lot of useful information. Moreover, the scanning of the copying talent was undetectable. In a situation where neither divine sense nor spatial awareness could be used, the copying talent was undoubtedly the best method. The interior of the valley was dense with trees and teeming with ferocious beasts. Empress Yu was extremely tense. Despite her immense strength, venturing deep into the lair of ferocious beasts was perilous, especially if they were to be discovered. As time ticked away, Yi Tian's copying talent had detected numerous Emperor-level ferocious beasts. He had also enveloped the one they were tracking, clearly understanding its talent composition. Species: Spiky Scaled Beast. Bloodline Talent: Moonlight. Speed Talent: Mystic. Strength Talent: Mystic. Defense Talent: Pseudo-Mystic 60%. Healing Talent: Pseudo-Mystic 50%. Armor-Piercing Talent: Top. An Emperor-level ferocious beast with a pseudo-mystic grade healing talent. Yi Tian was excited. His own healing talent, although top grade, was still somewhat slow for a saint-level warrior who could attack numerous times in an instant. In real combat, his top grade healing talent wasn't very effective. But the pseudo-mystic grade healing talent of this beast was much more impressive. During its battle with the golden winged pung, it had quickly healed from numerous injuries. Not copying this would be a disservice to himself. Copy. Yi Tian copied the spiky scaled beast's 50% pseudo-mystic grade healing talent. As they proceeded, another Emperor-level ferocious beast's talent caught Yi Tian's attention. Species: Spirit Cloud Beast. Bloodline talent, Moonlight. Defense talent, Mystic. Speed talent, Pseudo-Mystic 30%. Strength talent, Intermediate. Soul Spike talent, Top. The Soul Spike talent, could it be a soul-related talent? Yi Tian was shocked. If this was true, then this spirit cloud beast was the soul-type emperor-level ferocious beast that had been troubling the Battle Axe Emperor, Empress Yu, and Blood Eye Witch Emperor. Copy. Without hesitation, Yi Tian copied the spirit cloud beast's top-grade soul spike talent. At that moment, Yi Tian gave Empress Yu a meaningful glance, as if to say, "We've found it." Empress Yu looked a bit puzzled but didn't use telepathy, as it could be detected due to the divine sense fluctuations. With so many emperor-level ferocious beasts nearby, the risk of exposure was high. Yi Tian and Empress Yu slowly floated away, retreating from the valley. Empress Yu, I think I've found that emperor-level ferocious beast inside the valley. Yi Tian spoke. Are you sure? I was with you, and I didn't see it. Also, are you certain that the emperor-level ferocious beast you found is our target? Empress Yu expressed her doubts. You briefly described the appearance of that emperor-level ferocious beast to me before. I have a special method that allows me to observe distant situations. Although it's not as far-reaching as your moon god mirror, it's absolutely secretive. The emperor-level ferocious beast I saw matches the description you gave, and it was surrounded by other emperor-level ferocious beasts. I'm positive it's the one. Yi Tian confidently affirmed. Chapter 186. A Battle of Emperor Level. Empress Yu gazed at Yi Tian, somewhat believing but also hesitant to be certain. If she used the moon god mirror to observe, she could definitely determine whether the ferocious beast was in the valley. However, she couldn't use the moon god mirror because those with powerful souls could vaguely perceive its existence. Last time, her moon god mirror was discovered by the enemy. Therefore, this time, she absolutely could not use the moon god mirror again. Alright, I believe you. Empress Yu picked up a communication device, opened it to send a message to the Battle Axe Emperor and others, and pinpointed their current location. I have informed the Battle Axe Emperor and his party, let's wait patiently, Empress Yu said. On the other side, the Battle Axe Emperor received Empress Yu's message and quickly summoned many emperors. This time, the Battle Axe Emperor planned to lead 80% of the emperors to encircle and exterminate the emperor-level beasts, while the base would activate various defensive arrays. In this way, even if they were attacked by many emperor-level beasts, they could hold on for a while. freewebnovel.com. Once the emperors gathered, the Battle Axe Emperor shouted, "Depart!" Boom! One after another, the emperors soared into the sky, turning into streaks of light and disappearing into the horizon. Everyone at the base knew that a tremendous battle was about to begin. A few hours later, Empress Yu received a message from the Battle Axe Emperor. Yi Tian, the Battle Axe Emperor and his party have arrived. They are currently concealing their presence and slowly approaching. You take me to meet them, and then you leave first. You can't get involved in such an emperor-level battle. Okay, Yi Tian nodded. He did not want to overestimate his abilities. With his current strength, he could deal with ordinary emperor-level beasts, but his presence or absence wouldn't make much difference in such a battle, so there was no need for him to participate. Yi Tian led Empress Yu towards the distant figures, quickly encountering the many emperors who were on their way. So many emperors. This was the first time Yi Tian had seen so many emperors. Counting carefully, there were a total of 126 emperors. Not far away, the Battle Axe Emperor, who was flying low and slowly, heard a voice. Battle Axe Emperor, it's Empress Yu, realized the Battle Axe Emperor. The next moment, two figures appeared nearby. It was Yi Tian and Empress Yu. You can let go of my hand now, Empress Yu said, staring at Yi Tian. Yi Tian reluctantly let go of her hand. Many emperors were shocked. They were unaware of Yi Tian's assistance to Empress Yu and his talent for invisibility. They only saw Yi Tian holding Empress Yu's hand. To them, it was unimaginable. Others couldn't even get within 10 meters of Empress Yu, and here was Yi Tian, a saint level, holding her hand so closely. Could it be that Empress Yu took a fancy to Yi Tian? Impossible, many emperors thought in their hearts. In their eyes, although Empress Yu was incomparably beautiful, like a moon goddess descending to earth, her nature was cold, and she never showed any affection towards men. This was evident from the fact that she did not allow male disciples in her moon god sect. How could such a woman easily fall for a saint-level individual? Empress Yu flew over and said, Battle Axe Emperor, Yi Tian has discovered the emperor-level beast, but there are many emperor-level beasts in that valley, at least no less than 80. So many emperor-level beasts. The Battle Axe Emperor was somewhat surprised. It was beyond his expectation that the enemy had gathered so many Emperor-level beasts in such a short time. Emperor-level beasts generally acted independently, making it difficult for them to unite, which was one of the reasons why humans could hold the spatial rifts. If all the beasts united, humans could not defend them. The number of Emperor-level beasts was far greater than that of human emperors, even more than 10 times as many. Just 80 Emperor-level beasts, ordinary ones at that. I alone can kill a group of them. This time, nearly half of our emperors are here, are we still afraid of them? Blood Eye Witch Emperor said confidently. Surround the valley and kill the Emperor-level beast capable of soul attacks at all costs, understood? The Battle Axe Emperor said solemnly. Battle Axe Emperor, we understand. The emperors responded. The many emperors responded in unison. Let's go. The Battle Axe Emperor led the emperors, slowly flying towards the destination, with Empress Yu naturally following. As for Yi Tian, the emperors paid him no further attention. His task was completed, and whether he stayed or left was of no concern to them. Yi Tian didn't leave but instead retreated to a safe distance. He knew that getting caught in a battle of this scale would spell trouble for him. Retreating 100,000 kilometers away, he entered a state of invisibility and began to observe the battle. Soon, continuous explosions of battle echoed, as if tearing the world apart, the sky seeming to be ripped open by the light. Countless mountains shattered, and the earth sank. Many landscapes vanished, rivers dried up, and countless ordinary beasts were caught in the crossfire, turning to ashes. It'll probably not end soon. I should merge the talents I just copied to safeguard myself in case of any emergency, Yi Tian thought. He started with the Soul Spike talent, a soul attack talent he had long coveted for its rarity. Merge. The Soul Spike talent began to integrate with Yi Tian's soul. Intense pain surged from the depths of his soul, but Yi Tian endured it. 10 minutes later, he successfully merged the top-tier Soul Spike talent. As expected of a soul attack talent, Yi Tian exclaimed in joy. Nearby, there was a low-level beast which he targeted with his newly acquired top-tier Soul Spike talent. An invisible force of soul energy formed a spike that instantly pierced through the beast's soul. Silently, the beast fell to the ground, dead. Yi Tian then tried attacking other beasts. Whether it was intermediate, advanced, top-level beasts, or even king beasts, none could withstand his Soul Spike talent, all having their souls obliterated in a single strike. Even ordinary saint-level beasts were killed by him with 2 strikes. However, the Soul Spike talent was not limitless in its use. It could be used up to 50 times before needing several days of rest for his soul power to recover. Next, Yi Tian merged the 50% pseudo-mystic level healing talent, another life-saving ability. 10 minutes later, his healing talent successfully evolved, increasing his healing speed by several times. Meanwhile, Yi Tian sensed that the intensity of the distant battle had greatly diminished, indicating heavy losses on both sides. I wonder how many human emperors have fallen, he pondered with a sigh. Then, he thought of Empress Yu. I hope Empress Yu is all right, he worried, unsure if he was more concerned about her well-being or his reward. Among all the emperors, the last person he wanted to see harmed was naturally Empress Yu. Suddenly, a thunderous noise erupted. Even from 100,000 kilometers away, Yi Tian felt the ground shake, and the mountains tremble. At that moment, a message came through his communicator. Yi Tian, run for your life. Something's happened, Yi Tian immediately realized. Chapter 187, Saving Empress Yu. The person who sent a message to Yi Tian was none other than Empress Yu. Empress Yu's message urging Yi Tian to flee indicated that the emperors had encountered trouble, even Empress Yu had to escape. But what exactly had happened? Why did Empress Yu and the Battle Axe Emperor have to flee? Despite their superiority in both numbers and strength, why did the human emperors suddenly face defeat? Run. Without hesitation, Yi Tian fled towards the distance. At the same time, he activated his invisibility and flying talents. Thus, even emperor-level beasts would find it hard to track him. However, he could still be affected by their wide-range attacks. He needed to quickly leave the area. After flying for an unknown distance, Yi Tian sensed that the sounds of battle behind him had ceased. I should be out of the battle zone now, Yi Tian thought. But just as this thought emerged, a loud boom shattered his complacency. A bloodied woman was sent flying by an emperor-level beast, crashing into a mountain which then fractured. Empress Yu. Yi Tian's pupils contracted. Had he not been familiar with Empress Yu, he might have mistaken the woman for someone else. Empress Yu was severely injured, covered in blood, her aura reduced to that of an ordinary emperor. Clearly, she had been through a fierce battle. Otherwise, the relatively weaker Emperor-level beast could not have injured Empress Yu. Empress Yu is in danger. Yi Tian's expression changed. In terms of strength, he was definitely no match for this Emperor-level beast, which was at least 5 times stronger than him. If he didn't intervene, Empress Yu might perish. Save her, Yi Tian resolved firmly. In such a perilous situation, Empress Yu had still managed to send a message urging him to escape. If he didn't save her, he wouldn't be able to live with himself. Just as the Emperor-level beast attacked again, Yi Tian used his top-tier spatial talent to cast spatial imprisonment. A wave of spatial energy froze the void, slowing down the beast's attack significantly. Most of the spatial imprisonment affected the beast, while Empress Yu, though slightly impacted, was much better off. With a strong grasp on the rhythm of the battle, Empress Yu seized the fleeting opportunity to strike back. Boom! A moon filled with numerous cracks appeared behind her, and a moon blade flew out, instantly slashing the beast's neck. After several consecutive attacks at the same spot, the Emperor-level beast was quickly slain by Empress Yu. However, the effort worsened her already severe injuries, causing her to plummet downwards. Swoosh! Yi Tian teleported in front of Empress Yu and caught her. Seeing Yi Tian, Empress Yu said, "Quickly leave, it's no longer safe here." What happened? Yi Tian asked gravely. Empress Yu was about to respond when she suddenly fainted. With no other choice, Yi Tian held onto Empress Yu, entering an invisible state, and flew towards the base. Along the way, Yi Tian encountered numerous Emperor-level beasts searching for human emperors, but none discovered his presence. With Yi Tian's strength combined with his top-tier spatial talent, he was capable of slaying weaker Emperor-level beasts. However, he dared not make a move. Even an emperor like Empress Yu was severely injured, indicating the presence of an extremely terrifying beast. If he attracted the attention of that Emperor-level beast, it would spell his doom. We're almost at the base. Yi Tian estimated as he thought. He hoped that upon reaching the base, they would be safe. However, he was soon shocked by what he saw. Where's the base? The location where the base once stood was now in ruins. A huge pit had formed, and the spatial rift were thoroughly sealed off by large formations blocking them. Countless beasts were assaulting the formations at the rift. The situation was clear. The base had been breached, and humans were forced to retreat to Earth. And he was too late. It's no use. Yi Tian frowned. Though he possessed the invisibility talent, with the spatial rifts sealed, his talent could not penetrate the formations. And the humans on Earth's side wouldn't open the formations for him, as it would also allow the beasts through. Let's go. Yi Tian decided to leave, find a safe place to rest, and help Empress Yu recover from her injuries. Otherwise, with his strength alone, it would be difficult to survive. If Empress Yu recovered, perhaps she could find a way to get them back to Earth. After an unknown duration of flight, Yi Tian reached a massive mountain. He created a temporary cave dwelling and set up a simple concealment formation before setting Empress Yu down. Once safe, Yi Tian turned his attention to Empress Yu's injuries. She had a huge wound on her body, nearly split in two, and numerous broken bones and severe internal injuries. Seeing this, Yi Tian immediately fed her many healing pills. Overnight, the wound on Empress Yu's body began to scab and fall off. After all, as an emperor, her recovery speed was beyond ordinary comprehension, even without healing talents. On the 7th day, early morning, Empress Yu woke up. "Empress Yu, you're awake," Yi Tian joyfully said upon seeing her regain consciousness. "Yi Tian, did you save me?" Empress Yu asked upon seeing him. "No, I just happened to see you killing an Emperor-level beast and then collapsing from exhaustion, so I took you away," Yi Tian explained. "But I felt a spatial force restraining the void at that time." Empress Yu mumbled, "You must have been hallucinating due to your severe injuries." Yi Tian firmly denied, as his spatial talent was his trump card and he naturally would not admit to using it. Empress Yu, seeing Yi Tian's denial, did not pursue the matter further and began to heal herself. She took out a dragon eye-sized pill from her storage bag, swallowed it, and her injuries began to heal at an incredible rate, comparable to the best healing talents. Half an hour later, Empress Yu's injuries were largely healed, though some deeper internal injuries still needed time to recover. "Yi Tian, this isn't the base. Didn't you reach the base?" Empress Yu asked after opening her eyes. "I did, but the base has been breached. Humans have retreated to Earth, and the spatial rifts are sealed. I couldn't get through," Yi Tian said helplessly. "Breached, as expected." Empress Yu showed no surprise or unexpected emotion, as if she had anticipated all this. "Empress Yu, what exactly happened?" Couldn't we kill that beast capable of soul attacks? Yi Tian asked curiously. No, Empress Yu said gravely. We successfully killed that soul-attacking Emperor-level beast at first, even slaying dozens of Emperor-level beasts, almost wiping out all the beasts in that valley. However, an unexpected turn occurred. Blood-Eye Witch Emperor was killed by a suddenly appearing beast, and I was severely injured in one strike, leading to the defeat and retreat of all the emperors. Chapter 188. Marriage Fate Mediator. Blood-Eye Witch Emperor is dead. Yi Tian was truly shocked. That was the founder of the Witch God Temple, and he had actually died in battle. What kind of ferocious beast was it? Yi Tian asked. I'm not sure. Empress Yu shook his head. That beast was enormously huge, probably 3,000 meters long. It burst out from underground, and with just a swipe of its tail, it killed the Blood-Eye Witch Emperor. A single claw of it slew over 10 emperors. If I hadn't had a defensive treasure to block that beast's claw, I fear I would have been slain in one strike. From its appearance, the beast seemed to be related to dragons. Even if it's not a true dragon, it must be a sub-dragon or a dragon-blooded beast. Dragons. Yi Tian wasn't surprised about the existence of dragons in the world of ferocious beasts, as Xiao Shui was a dragon. What color was the skin of that beast? Yi Tian asked. Black, replied Empress Yu. Yi Tian breathed a sigh of relief. If it was black, then it had nothing to do with Xiao Shui. He was worried it might be a close relative of Xiao Shui, which would be troublesome to handle. His relationship with Xiao Shui was good, and he didn't want to clash with Xiao Shui's kin. Empress Yu, what should we do now? Can we go back? Yi Tian asked. Empress Yu shook his head. We can't go back for now. Once a spatial rift is sealed, it won't open for a while. If the ferocious beasts rush to Earth, the consequences would be unimaginable. We can only take it one step at a time now. I have no better plan. What if that powerful black beast attacks the spatial rift? Humans probably won't be able to stop it, right? Yi Tian was somewhat worried. Don't worry, Zonghai Super Base also has its trump card. It won't be easy for that beast to defeat humanity. For instance, the spatial rift hasn't been attacked by the beasts yet, which is the best proof. Said Empress Yu. A trump card, what is it? Yi Tian was very curious. The War God Tower. Empress Yu spoke. The War God Tower. Yi Tian recalled the mysterious War God Tower at Zonghai Super Base. He had always thought it was just a treasure to aid in human cultivation. Could it be that it had other capabilities? Although you are a formal member of the War God Tower, your access rights are minimal. However, when your access level is high enough, you can use the War God Tower to launch an attack. Currently, there are 3 people among humans with this authority: the Battle Axe Emperor, Emperor Qin of the Qin sect, and the War Dragon Emperor. The War Dragon Emperor has always guarded the War God Tower, and his strength is second only to the Battle Axe Emperor. The 3 emperors have 3 opportunities to activate the War God Tower's attack. Perhaps they have already used one to severely injure that black beast, explained Empress Yu. So that's how it is. Yi Tian understood. No wonder, with the terrifying strength of that black beast, it only destroyed the base in the world of ferocious beasts but did not push through. It turns out humans have the War God Tower as their trump card. Empress Yu, if the 3 chances are used up, they can be used again, right? Yi Tian asked again. Correct, they can be used again, but there is a 10-year interval. The last time, 20 years ago, the beasts reached Earth. It was only 10 years ago that they were pushed back, because the 3 chances were used up, and 10 years later, the 3 opportunities to activate the War God Tower were restored, which drove the beasts back to their world again, Empress Yu explained. I must become stronger as soon as possible. Yi Tian thought to himself. If the 3 opportunities to activate the War God Tower were used up, it would be difficult to resist the beasts. The battlefield would inevitably shift to Earth, which would be extremely dangerous. It could inadvertently extend the battlefield to Zonghai Super Base. Cultivation. Yi Tian decided immediately. Just as he was preparing to cultivate, Empress Yu spoke. Yi Tian, would you like to cultivate in the Moon God Pavilion? Moon God Pavilion. Yi Tian was puzzled. How can we enter the Moon God Pavilion now that we can't return to Zonghai Super Base? The Moon God Pavilion has always been with me. The Moon God Pavilion of the Moon God sect is actually just an ordinary building, nothing more than a disguise. Empress Yu revealed this secret easily. The Moon God Pavilion is with you. Yi Tian was truly astonished. Why are you so kind to me? Yi Tian asked with curiosity. At this moment, Empress Yu hesitated, her face suddenly flushing slightly. It's nothing, I just feel that we are fated, she replied. Fated. Yi Tian was somewhat skeptical about this explanation, and he couldn't help but notice that Empress Yu seemed a bit shy, almost like a young girl. Was this really Empress Yu? However, what Yi Tian didn't know was that this so-called fate was not ordinary but a marriage fate. Empress Yu had inherited the legacy of the ancient moon sect, which included a precious item, the marriage jade. Anyone who refined the marriage jade could sense their destined partner. The last time Yi Tian saw Empress Yu returning from outside the base, she also noticed him, and sensed through the marriage jade that Yi Tian was her destined partner. That was why she allowed Yi Tian to assist her. Otherwise, she would not have allowed anyone else to help her, even if the mission was doomed to fail, and she would not have allowed anyone else to hold her hand. The Battle Axe Emperor and others were puzzled why Empress Yu suddenly changed her personality, and it stemmed from this. Of course, they were unaware of the marriage jade, which was why they were extremely shocked. Naturally, Empress Yu was not comfortable or willing to disclose these matters. Moreover, at the moment, she only had a slight fondness and curiosity towards Yi Tian, and it hadn't escalated to love. Nevertheless, she felt that Yi Tian's strength was somewhat weak, so she wanted to enhance his abilities to ensure he could protect himself as much as possible in the upcoming war. That's why she proposed the Moon God Pavilion, allowing Yi Tian to cultivate in the Moon God Pavilion for a month. Yi Tian, this is the Moon God Pavilion. You may enter and cultivate, said Empress Yu as a small 3-story white jade pavilion emerged in her palm. It quickly grew from a tiny pavilion in her hand to a 10-meter tall structure. Without hesitation, Yi Tian entered the Moon God Pavilion. Such an opportunity was not to be missed. After Yi Tian entered, Empress Yu's voice followed, Yi Tian, I can only open the first floor of the Moon God Pavilion. You should cultivate there. Okay. Yi Tian sat down cross-legged and began to cultivate, attempting to open his brain domain. Boom! Mysterious energies surged into Yi Tian's body, accelerating the opening of his brain domain. What a fast speed! Yi Tian was overjoyed. Then, he initiated a threefold time acceleration and continued his cultivation. Soon, he had opened 1% of his brain domain, a pace much faster than before. Empress Yu opened 100% of her deep brain domain in 3 years, and with my Dawn-level talent, I estimate it will take 6 to 7 months to open 100% of my brain domain. And with the ability to accelerate time threefold, it would only take a little over 2 months in the outside world. Yi Tian estimated. Unfortunately, he could only cultivate here for a month. 1 month it is. According to Empress Yu, opening the Moon God Pavilion requires a great deal of resources. I shouldn't be too greedy, Yi Tian thought. As time passed day by day, Yi Tian's cultivation progressed at an incredible speed. Before he knew it, a month had passed. Chapter 189, The Emperor-Level Cultivation Method. Yi Tian slowly opened his eyes, concluding his cultivation session. At this moment, he had opened up 80% of his deep brain domain. Initially, he had already opened up 34% of it. After spending a month in the Moon God Pavilion, he managed to open up an additional 46%, bringing the total to 80%. His physical strength had reached the level of 8 dragon power. Whoosh! Yi Tian was expelled from the Moon God Pavilion, landing in front of Empress Yu. Yi Tian, your cultivation level. Empress Yu covered her mouth in shock. Before, Yi Tian had only opened up a little over 30% of his deep brain domain. Yet, after just 1 month in the Moon God Pavilion, he had suddenly reached the level of opening 80% of it. What kind of cultivation speed was this? I have decent talent, so my cultivation is a bit faster, was all Yi Tian could say. Empress Yu looked deeply at Yi Tian, guessing that his talent must be very high, certainly above the moonlight level in cultivation. However, she refrained from asking too much to avoid offending him. Seemingly stimulated by Yi Tian, Empress Yu also went into closed-door cultivation. In the following days, Yi Tian continued to open up his deep brain domain while cultivating the Starfall Slash. Starfall Slash was a legendary sword technique. Once he successfully learned it, his strength would increase significantly. To train the Starfall Slash, Yi Tian occasionally hunted ferocious beasts, often using powerful saint-level beasts for practice. Of course, this was done without activating his mystic-level strength talent, using only the semi-complete Starfall Slash against his enemies. Initially, some powerful saint-level beasts could withstand a few of Yi Tian's slashes, but eventually, he was able to kill those incredibly strong beasts with a single strike. Half a month later, he finally mastered the basics of the Starfall Slash. My strength should be enough to compete with the 36 emperors, right? Yi Tian thought to himself. His physical strength had reached 8 dragon power. After the amplification of his yuan force, it was 16 dragon power. With the 100-fold amplification from his mystic level strength talent and the 30-fold increase from the entry level of the legendary Starfall Slash, his maximum attack power reached 48,000 dragon power. What a concept! A regular emperor, freshly ascended, would have a physical strength of only about 100 dragon power, and after yuan force amplification, only about 200 dragon power. In contrast, Yi Tian's attack power was 480 times that of a regular emperor, easily able to crush a common emperor. Of course, compared to the likes of the Battle Axe Emperor, the gap was still significant. He had inquired from Empress Yu, among the 36 emperors, the Battle Axe Emperor's attack power exceeded 1 million dragon power, reaching 1.2 million. This was because the Battle Axe Emperor had a physical strength of 300 dragon power, 100-fold amplification from mystic level strength talent, 20-fold increase from the perfected golden level axe technique, and 2-fold yuan force amplification, totaling 1.2 million dragon power. It was undoubtedly very difficult for Yi Tian's power to reach the level of the Battle Axe Emperor. However, compared to the weaker among the 36 emperors, he was not lacking at all. The weaker emperors among the 36 had a maximum attack power of only around 40,000 to 50,000 dragon power. And Yi Tian, in terms of defense and speed, was not weak. Although he was not comparable to the 36 emperors, with his top-notch spatial and time talents, he could even kill a weaker one among the 36 emperors. Next goal, ascend to emperor level and become the number 1 person in Zonghai Super Base. Yi Tian secretly set this goal for himself. After returning from hunting ferocious beasts, Yi Tian looked over at Empress Yu. At this moment, her condition was excellent, her injuries had completely healed, even the internal ones, and her aura was much stronger than before, indicating significant gains from her recent closed-door cultivation. Yi Tian, you're back. Empress Yu opened her eyes, ending her cultivation session. Yes, Yi Tian nodded. Today, I brought back the meat of a red sheep beast. We can have braised red sheep meat for dinner tonight. Eating meals was a habit Yi Tian maintained, and although Empress Yu initially didn't fancy eating, she joined in after seeing Yi Tian do so for a few days. All right, Empress Yu nodded lightly, showing an imperceptible smile. After dinner, Empress Yu suddenly spoke up, Yi Tian, I need your help with something. What is it? Yi Tian looked at her, sensing the gravity in her tone. In 3 days, I plan to make a breakthrough to the innate moon spirit body. Can you help me by guarding during the process? Empress Yu asked, biting her lip. Guarding, sure, Yi Tian agreed without hesitation. Empress Yu quickly explained, this closed-door session is special. I need to enter the sky above for it. There might be flying ferocious beasts, and perhaps even emperor-level beasts. Why do you need to go above the heavens for the closed-door session? Yi Tian asked, puzzled. Because of the special cultivation method at the emperor level. Empress Yu began to explain. At the saint level, it's about opening up the brain domain, but at the emperor level, it involves absorbing special energy to temper the entire body and breaking through physical limits. Breaking each limit grants 100 dragon power. The Battle Axe Emperor, for instance, has broken through his body's limits twice, and so have I. There are several methods to break through these limits. One is to absorb energy related to one's own talent attributes. For example, I have the mystic level moon god talent, allowing me to absorb moon power to temper my body. The Battle Axe Emperor, as far as I know, doesn't have such attribute talents and can only use yuan qi to temper his body and break limits. At the emperor level, the Battle Axe Emperor's progress is actually quite slow. Many emperors have broken through 3 limits, but he remains at 2. However, his top-tier Battle Axe talent and mystic level strength talent stack up, making him the strongest in Zonghai Super Base. So, if one has a fire-related talent, they could use fire to temper their body. Yi Tian asked. Exactly, Empress Yu nodded. Those with fire talents can use fire to temper their bodies, and those with water talents can use the power of water. Of course, if these attribute talents are not high level, their tempering effects might be weaker than just using yuan qi. The talents that can truly rapidly temper the body are the mystic level attribute talents. Only they can temper one's body to an innate attribute body, like the innate fire spirit body, innate water spirit body, or innate moon spirit body. What if someone has multiple mystic level attribute talents? What benefits would that bring? Yi Tian asked curiously. Empress Yu's eyes widened, staring at Yi Tian. How could someone have that? Having one mystic level attribute talent is already against the heavens, let alone multiple. But if someone really had multiple, their cultivation speed would be incredibly fast. Using just one mystic level attribute talent has its limits, and it slows down after a certain point, like my current use of moon power 1. But with multiple talents, like fire, water, and moon, one could first use fire power to temper the body, then water, and then moon power, breaking through limits with ease and much faster than with a single attribute. Boom! Empress Yu's words opened up a grand avenue of possibilities for Yi Tian. freewebnovel.com. 1. Diminishing returns, if anyone's interested. Chapter 190, The Innate Moon Spirit Body. Previously, Yi Tian had always thought that talents related to fire, water, and other elements were of little use to him, so he seldom copied them. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been difficult for him to gather several mystic-level talents. But now, he finally realized the importance of these elemental talents. With them, he could rapidly progress at the Emperor level, especially combined with the Dawn level talent for cultivation. Once he stepped into the Emperor level, he would quickly surpass others, becoming the #1 power in the Central Sea Super Base. First, I'll copy Empress Yu's mystic level Moon God talent. Yi Tian silently copied Empress Yu's mystic level Moon God talent. Soon, 3 days passed. On this day, the moon in the beast world shone brighter than usual, several times brighter than the ordinary moons. According to Empress Yu, today was the moon day, when the moon's energy was several times denser than usual. However, absorbing moon energy from the ground was insufficient for Empress Yu to cultivate the innate moon spirit body. One must ascend to the sky, where the moon's energy was less weakened and much denser than on the ground. On Moon Day, many beasts that absorbed moon energy would also rush into the sky, and if they discovered Empress Yu, they might attack. This was why Empress Yu needed protection. If she missed this opportunity, she wouldn't be content. Once she developed the innate moon spirit body, her cultivation speed would increase significantly. She could also use this opportunity to break through her third physical limit, greatly enhancing her strength to rival that of the Battle Axe Emperor. Yi Tian would have also taken the risk to absorb moon energy and strive for the innate moon spirit body. Let's go up. Empress Yu looked at the moon in the sky and said. Swish, swish, the two of them flew up, quickly passing through the atmosphere and arriving above the sky. However, Yi Tian soon discovered that he could no longer ascend. Don't bother trying. You can't leave this beast world, Empress Yu shook her head. With her explanation, Yi Tian gradually understood. The beast world was actually a planet, a very large one. From here, one could see the curvature of a vast and boundless planet but still could not see the entire planet. The beast world, like Earth, was covered by a thin membrane, which even great emperors couldn't break through. This membrane, which appeared after the emergence of Yuan Qi on Earth over 100 years ago, was a form of self-protection and defense unique to planets with Yuan Qi. However, this defense also shackled the creatures, preventing anyone below the level of a great emperor from leaving their planet, unless they used spatial rifts to travel to other planets. There was no other way. Yi Tian, I'm starting. If you really can't hold them off, then interrupt my advancement. Don't risk your life for me, Empress Yu advised. Don't worry, there won't be any problems. Yi Tian smiled slightly, reassuring Empress Yu, who seemed to relax a bit at his smile. She then sat cross-legged and activated her moon god talent. Boom! A full moon rose behind Empress Yu, transforming into a small moon. This was the external manifestation of the mystic level moon god talent. Under its influence, a vast amount of moonlight transformed into pure moon energy and began to refine Empress Yu's body, slowly turning it into the innate moon spirit body. Yi Tian shifted his attention away from Empress Yu and began to observe his surroundings. Before long, a saint-level beast resembling a bat approached, attracted by the dense moon energy near Empress Yu. Die! Yi Tian slashed with his sword, instantly killing the saint-level beast. Its body split in two, floating in the sky. As time passed, more and more saint-level beasts approached, dying one after another. Occasionally, some emperor-level beasts also appeared, but they were no match for Yi Tian and were easily killed by him. Half an hour passed. The aura around Empress Yu grew much stronger, but there was still some distance to go before she could fully develop the innate moon spirit body. After a brief glance at Empress Yu, Yi Tian resumed observing his surroundings. Simultaneously, he activated his bloodthirsty talent, absorbing a large amount of blood from the slain beasts to replenish his own strength. Suddenly, the aura of an emperor-level beast caught Yi Tian's attention. This emperor-level beast moved incredibly fast, approaching like a streak of blood light. An emperor-level beast that's second only to the top 36 emperors. Yi Tian noted gravely. He wasn't afraid of such an emperor-level beast, but if he couldn't kill it quickly, it might disturb Empress Yu's advancement. Unconsciously, he had developed a sense of affection for Empress Yu and naturally didn't want her to be harmed. Anyone who disturbs Empress Yu's advancement shall die. Yi Tian's right hand clenched in the air. Boom! Space seemed to freeze, and the speed of the distant Emperor-level beast significantly slowed down, as if bound by some force. Mystic-level strength talent, God-level extreme speed talent. Starfall slash. Die. A dazzling slash, as if tearing through time and space, struck the Emperor-level beast, leaving a huge gash. The beast was sent flying backward with a thunderous sound. Tough scales, slash, break for me. Yi Tian, wielding a morning star-level sword, struck the beast's scales. In the next moment, its scales shattered, revealing flesh underneath. The Emperor-level beast tried to kill Yi Tian with a tail strike but missed due to Yi Tian's time talent. Puff, puff, puff. Yi Tian's sword relentlessly struck the broken scales, and after dozens of strikes, he took the beast's life. This entire event seemed lengthy, but it all happened in the blink of an eye. The Emperor-level beast was particularly unlucky. Had it encountered another tyrant like the 36 emperors, it might have had a chance to escape, but Yi Tian's array of techniques left it with no hope of escape. Afterward, no more powerful Emperor-level beasts attacked. The beast world was vast, and Emperor-level beasts weren't common. It was unlikely one would just happen to be nearby. Thus, the following beasts were mostly saint level. freewebnovel.com. Several more hours passed, and the moon was about to set. At that moment, a dazzling light erupted from Empress Yu, as countless streams of moon energy surged into her body. Her aura grew increasingly powerful, and she resembled a true moon goddess. Yi Tian, watching this transformation, was utterly astonished. Beautiful. He could only utter this word. Any further description failed to capture Empress Yu's beauty. He knew the innate moon spirit body was about to be formed. As the light dissipated, the moon spirit returned to its original purity, with all the moon energy concealed within her body. Yi Tian, you've worked hard, Empress Yu stood up and said. She glanced around and noticed the numerous beast corpses, including those of Emperor-level beasts. From these corpses, it was evident that Yi Tian had fought a fierce battle but had prevented any beast from crossing his line of defense and affecting her. With this realization, Empress Yu couldn't help but be moved. Perhaps he really is the right person destined for me, she thought. Bro, this author is really bad at writing romance, LMAO. I like it though. Chapter 191, Returning, Mutual Feelings. Empress Yu had already cultivated the innate moon spirit body. Although she had not yet broken through the third physical limit, she no longer needed to stay in the sky and could descend to slowly challenge this third limit. Let's go down, said Empress Yu. Okay. Yi Tian followed Empress Yu as they flew down, quickly returning to the temporary cave dwelling where they had stayed before. In the following days, Empress Yu began to challenge her third physical limit, which fortunately did not require guarding. Meanwhile, Yi Tian continued to develop his brain domain. He still had some treasures for brain domain development, which he hadn't used while cultivating at the Moon God Pavilion. He now planned to use them all, hoping to further enhance his cultivation. On the third day, Empress Yu made a breakthrough, successfully shattering her third physical limit. Her strength greatly increased, now comparable to the Battle Axe Emperor. Originally, Yi Tian had planned to continue cultivating with Empress Yu in this place until reaching the Emperor level. But plans changed unexpectedly. Yi Tian, the Battle Axe Emperor has sent a message. Something has happened in the beast world, the beasts are retreating, and that Black Beast has disappeared. The Battle Axe Emperor is preparing to establish a new base in the beast world. We can go back now, announced Empress Yu. Can we go back now? Yi Tian felt a mix of happiness and loss. He was happy to return, no longer trapped in the beast world. However, he felt sad about parting with Empress Yu. Unconsciously, he had grown accustomed to their days together. Even the thought of separating from Empress Yu brought a sense of melancholy. Although they could still meet after returning, the gap in their statuses was significant. Empress Yu, a powerful Emperor-level fighter comparable to the Battle Axe Emperor and the sect master of the Moon God sect, wielded immense authority. In contrast, Yi Tian was merely a saint-level cultivator, his power comparable to the weaker among the 36 emperors but still at a saint level. His Tian Pavilion was a minor force, hardly considered significant. If they returned to Zonghai Super Base, spending time together as they had been would be impossible. Empress Yu seemed to realize this too, a faint sense of loss appearing on her face. Both remained silent in a poignant coincidence. After a while, Empress Yu spoke. Yi Tian, you are always welcome to visit the Moon God sect, and you can come to see me. Saying this seemed to take all of Empress Yu's strength, her body trembling slightly. Of course, I will definitely come to see you. Yi Tian replied with a happy smile. He knew Empress Yu must have a fondness for him, otherwise, she wouldn't have said such words. Normally, men were strictly forbidden from entering the Moon God sect, even those married to its female disciples are part of its external forces. Only on grand occasions of the Moon God sect, perhaps when few emperor-level visitors came, one could enter. But for someone like Yi Tian to have the privilege of visiting any time and even seeing Empress Yu was unique. I'll be waiting for you. Empress Yu smiled, a joyous expression unlike her usual aloof, untouchable moon goddess demeanor, as if she had transformed into a different person. If Yi Tian were now the foremost figure of Zonghai Super Base, he might have embraced Empress Yu right then. But he was merely a saint-level cultivator. If he confessed his feelings to Empress Yu now and established a relationship, she might not mind and might even be overjoyed. But what would others at Zonghai Super Base think? They might label Yi Tian as a gold digger attached to Empress Yu, or even worse. He didn't mind what others said about him, but he wouldn't allow anyone to speak ill of Empress Yu. Thus, he resolved to confess to Empress Yu in the strongest manner possible, not now. He believed that day wouldn't be too far off. The next day, Yi Tian and Empress Yu returned to the vicinity of the spatial rift. Near the spatial rift, a brand new base was under construction. Top-level formation masters, including a Morning Star-level formation master, were busy setting up a grand formation. It wouldn't be long before this new base was completed. Many sighed in relief with Empress Yu's return. Recently, too many emperors had fallen, particularly the devastating loss of the Blood Eye Witch Emperor, which had severely impacted the morale of Zonghai Super Base. The Witch God Temple, having lost both the Blood Eye Witch Emperor and the Tyrant Dragon Emperor, was in decline, close to losing its status as one of the four major powers. Empress Yu's disappearance had also plunged the Moon God sect into chaos, with many believing Empress Yu had fallen. Without Empress Yu, the Moon God sect, lacking in depth, could hardly be considered a top-tier power anymore and would be reduced to an ordinary major force. Fortunately, Empress Yu's safe return brought a collective sigh of relief to the Moon God sect. As for Yi Tian, he didn't attract much attention initially. However, soon after Empress Yu's return, Yi Tian became famous. Empress Yu announced that Yi Tian was the Moon God sect's most favored guest, who could enter the sect anytime without hindrance, and she must be notified immediately upon his visit. This news made Yi Tian the envy of many men and even the subject of jealousy among many women in the Moon God sect. In short, Yi Tian was in the limelight once again. Zonghai Super Base. Upon Yi Tian's return, Feng Lushui immediately sought him out for a chat over tea. Yi Tian, I didn't expect you to return alive, don't get me wrong, I'm not cursing you. You're really incredible, so many emperors have fallen, but you survived. Your top-level invisibility talent is amazing. Feng Lushui exclaimed. It's just luck, Yi Tian replied with a smile, not elaborating further. If he had relied solely on his stealth talent, he would have perished many times over. As they chatted, Feng Lushui suddenly asked in a low voice, Yi Tian, what's your relationship with Empress Yu? She allowed you to enter the Moon God sect anytime and forbid anyone from stopping you. You know, you're the only man in the entire Zonghai Super Base with this privilege. Maybe Empress Yu has taken a liking to me. Yi Tian replied, half jokingly yet seriously. Feng Lushui rolled his eyes, cut it out. You're not even as handsome as me. How could you win Empress Yu's heart? I heard Empress Yu doesn't even like men. Rumor has it she was severely injured by a terrifying beast and disappeared. Did you save her, and that's why she treats you so well? Clearly, Feng Lixu's imagination had run wild with this theory. Alright, I did save Empress Yu. Yi Tian said, somewhat helplessly. I knew it. It must be for that reason. Feng Lushui said smugly, believing he had figured it out. Yi Tian, do you know how many emperors died this time? Feng Lixu's expression suddenly turned solemn. I don't know, Yi Tian shook his head. He had just returned and indeed didn't know the exact number. The exact figures haven't been released, but I heard that 40% of the emperors died, including 16 of the 36 emperors, Feng Lushui sighed. The loss of so many emperors was more devastating than the war that happened 10 or 20 years ago. Without at least a decade of accumulation, Zonghai Super Base's strength couldn't return to its peak. Chapter 192, Yi Tian enters the Moon God sect. 16 of the 36 emperors are dead. Yi Tian also inhaled sharply, finding the loss too great. It was somewhat acceptable for ordinary emperors to die, but the 36 emperors were the pillars of Zonghai Super Base. The loss of even one was a severe blow. Losing 16 of the 36 emperors at once could definitely be considered a fundamental injury. Yes, the 36 emperors definitely need to be re-ranked now, but the new ones will undoubtedly be of lower quality, not as good as the previous ones. Feng Lushui said, sipping his tea. Feng Lushui, why have the beasts retreated? What exactly happened? Yi Tian was curious. He could have asked Empress Yu, but after some thought, he decided not to. Empress Yu must be very busy now, bearing the heavy burden of so many emperors' deaths. He didn't want to disturb her over a mere question. It's unclear, but it's said that a treasure appeared in the beast world, attracting many beasts to fight over it. That black beast that killed many emperors went there too. Anyway, the specifics are unknown, and humans, having suffered heavy losses, naturally dare not send more people to investigate. Otherwise, if there's another loss, Zonghai Super Base won't be defendable. Feng Lushui explained. freewebnovel.com. A treasure, huh? Yi Tian thought of items like the War God Steel and the Dao Comprehension Steel, which might be the only kinds of treasures capable of inciting such fierce competition among imperial-level beasts. Unfortunately, his current strength was too weak, or he would have liked to compete for it. After parting with Feng Lushui, Yi Tian returned to Tian Pavilion. Tian Pavilion had developed well during this time, having produced several grandmasters and many great martial warriors. His sister, Yi Yu, had already become a king-level powerhouse. Even in Yi Tian's absence, Tian Pavilion, with a king-level powerhouse at its helm, could be considered a small force. Yi Tian handed over the massive amount of beast blood collected from the beast world to his sister Yi Yu, entrusted her with some tasks, and then returned home. Upon arriving home, he saw Xiao Shui. Xiao Shui had awakened from its slumber. Ha ha ha, master, Xiao Shui, have become very powerful now. Xiao Shui shouted excitedly upon seeing Yi Tian. Really? Yi Tian asked with a sly smile. Space imprisonment. Yi Tian used his space talent to suppress Xiao Shui. Under the space imprisonment ability, the void was frozen. Xiao Shui, merely at the peak of the king level, couldn't escape the frozen void despite its powerful talent. Master, what's happening? Why can't I move? Xiao Shui's voice screamed in Yi Tian's mind. You're just at the king level, and I'm about to reach the emperor level. Just a little trick from me, and you can't even move. Do you still think you're strong? Yi Tian deliberately provoked Xiao Shui. My goodness, master, are you already that powerful? Xiao Shui, am already a young war-blood sky dragon, and my talent has completely transformed. Why am I still so weak? Xiao Shui was utterly disheartened. Yi Tian patted Xiao Shui's head. Xiao Shui, you're almost invincible among the king level, it's just that your master is too powerful, not that you're weak. He consoled, not wanting Xiao Shui to lose confidence. So that's it. I knew Xiao Shui, am now incredible. How could I possibly be weak? Xiao Shui said arrogantly. Xiao Shui, keep working hard in your cultivation. You'll definitely become an extremely powerful dragon in the future. Those emperor-level beasts are not even worthy of carrying your shoes. Yi Tian praised. Xiao Shui nodded vigorously, its eyes glowing, fully agreeing with Yi Tian's view. Yi Tian wasn't just flattering Xiao Shui was indeed incredible. He had just checked Xiao Shui's talent after it absorbed the water dragon pearl, undergoing a complete transformation. Its talents had improved significantly. Species: War Blood Sky Dragon. Bloodline talent: Dawn level. Strength talent: Pseudo Mystic 70%. Defense talent: Pseudo Mystic 60%. Speed talent: Top level. Blood Devouring talent: Pseudo Mystic 80%. Blood Devouring talent: Pseudo Mystic 80%. Flying talent: Top level. Dragon Flame talent: Top level. Healing talent: Top level. Dragon Roar talent: Top level. Blood Bone talent: High level. Dragon Soul talent: Top level. Aside from the Blood Bone talent, all other talents of Xiao Shui were above top level, and its strength, defense, and blood devouring talents had already reached the pseudo-mystic level, making the transition to mystic level talent not difficult. Furthermore, the other top-level talents also had the chance to evolve into mystic-level talents, provided Xiao Shui diligently comprehended the mysteries. With such magnificent and powerful 10 talents, Xiao Shui was many times stronger than those imperial-level beasts of the beast world, and its potential future was incomparable to them. However, Yi Tian also had to be careful not to overly praise Xiao Shui, to prevent it from becoming too arrogant. After staying at home for a few days, Yi Tian prepared to go to the beast world to find other mystic-level talents, preparing for his future emperor-level cultivation. If he stayed in Zonghai Super Base, he wouldn't be able to replicate several mystic-level talents. But before leaving, he planned to meet with Empress Yu to inform her of his plans. At the Moon God Sect, at the entrance of the sect, Yi Tian arrived there, and 2 female disciples of the Moon God Sect stopped him. This is the territory of the Moon God Sect, men are not allowed to enter. My name is Yi Tian, I've come to find Empress Yu, Yi Tian said. Yi Tian, the 2 female disciples exclaimed in surprise. They were too familiar with this name, they had been discussing Yi Tian every day recently, and now he had appeared before them. It really is Yi Tian, I've seen his portrait before, I just didn't recognize him at first. One of the female disciples whispered. After confirming Yi Tian's identity, they no longer dared to stop him. One of the disciples led Yi Tian into the Moon God Sect. Along the way, many female disciples of the Moon God Sect glanced at Yi Tian, quietly discussing among themselves. Yi Tian, indifferent to their whispers, walked calmly. In the distance, on top of a pavilion, the holy maiden Shui and several maid-servants also looked over, seeing Yi Tian heading towards the palace where the sect leader of the Moon God Sect resided. It's Yi Tian, him. The holy maiden Shui observed Yi Tian with curious eyes. Not long ago, Yi Tian was still on the same level as her, having accepted her task to help her subdue a beast. At that time, she thought Yi Tian was not as strong as her. But who would have thought that Yi Tian would soon become the 7th on the king's list, possessing 7-star king level combat power, and even becoming a saint, leaping to great saint level power, surpassing Feng Lushui, and becoming the most powerful young person of this generation in Zonghai Super Base. And who could have predicted that Yi Tian would mix into the emperor level circles and become a close associate of their sect leader, Empress Yu, even allowing Empress Yu to break her own rules and let Yi Tian enter the Moon God Sect. This matter had caused a huge uproar within the Moon God Sect. Many elders strongly opposed it, but they were all suppressed by Empress Yu, who used her powerful strength to deter all the elders and decided the matter single-handedly. The holy maiden Shui was naturally very familiar with all these developments. But even now, she still felt a bit dazed. Yi Tian, who was once her peer, now seemed almost like an elder to her. Lady Holy Maiden, why do you think Empress Yu favors Yi Tian so much? A maidservant asked curiously. I'm not sure, no one knows what Empress Yu is thinking. Maybe it's true, as the rumors say, that Yi Tian saved Empress Yu's life, and she is very grateful to him, the holy maiden Shui murmured. But is that the reality? Even if there was a life-saving grace, giving more rewards would suffice. Why allow Yi Tian to enter the Moon God Sect anytime, breaking the rules set by Empress Yu herself? No matter how she thought about it, it seemed unreasonable. Chapter 193, Insane Talent Copying. In the Moon God Sect, within the Moon God Temple, resided Empress Yu. Usually, Empress Yu would be alone in the temple, practicing cultivation, and even the disciples of the Moon God Sect were not allowed to enter. However, today, Yi Tian went in. At this moment, inside the Moon God Temple, Yi Tian sat together with Empress Yu. Yi Tian, I'm so happy you could come. Empress Yu expressed her long-missed smile. These past few days had been extremely busy for her. Not only did she have to deal with the accumulated affairs of the Moon God Sect, but as one of the 36 emperors, she also had to manage the relationships between various major forces. Despite being an emperor-level powerhouse, she felt exhausted. Seeing Yi Tian seemed to instantly dissipate her fatigue. Empress Yu, I'm also very happy to see you. Yi Tian replied with a joyful smile. Don't call me Empress Yu, can you call me Yue? Empress Yu asked, slightly nervous, while fiddling with the corner of her clothes. Okay, then from now on, I'll call you Yue, Yi Tian agreed. He knew her real name was Xiao Yu, but no one dared to call her by her real name, let alone Yue. This permission to address Empress Yu so intimately undoubtedly brought their relationship a step closer. They talked for a long time, discussing Empress Yu's recent affairs, cultivation, and past experiences. Several hours later, Yi Tian finally revealed his purpose for the visit. Yue, I plan to re-enter the ferocious beast world and stay there for a while. Yi Tian, it's too dangerous there. Empress Yu expressed her concern. Don't worry, I have the talent for invisibility, and many other life-saving methods. Safety won't be an issue. As soon as I step into the Emperor level, I'll come back. With my strength, I should be able to reach the Emperor level very quickly. Once I return, I can truly protect you. Yi Tian said sincerely. Alright, then I'll wait for you to come back and protect me. Empress Yu said with a blushing face. Unknowingly, Yi Tian held Empress Yu's hand, and she did not withdraw it, allowing him to hold it. In this moment, both sensed each other's feelings. Not long after, Yi Tian left. The next day, Yi Tian departed from Zonghai Super Base, entering the 5-star spatial rift leading to the ferocious beast world. Upon entering the ferocious beast world, Yi Tian, far from being arrogant, kept a low profile, activating his top-tier invisibility talent and searching for mystic-level talents. The ferocious beast world was vast, teeming with powerful beasts, many of which possessed mystic-level attribute talents. Soon, Yi Tian discovered an emperor-level ferocious beast with a mystic-level fire domain talent. Species: Fire Phoenix. Bloodline talent: Moonlight. Flying talent: Top. Fire domain talent: Mystic. Defensive talent: Top. This Fire Phoenix, despite only possessing one mystic-level talent, was relatively powerful among Emperor-level ferocious beasts, but not quite at the level of the 36 Emperors. After copying the mystic-level Fire Domain talent from the Fire Phoenix, Yi Tian killed it, reducing one more Emperor-level ferocious beast opponent for humanity. Afterward, Yi Tian found a place to integrate this mystic-level Fire Domain talent. He then resumed his search for other mystic-level talents and, after 3 more days, found another Emperor-level ferocious beast with a mystic-level talent. Species: Windwalker Beast. Bloodline talent: Moonlight. Strength talent: Top. Storm talent: Mystic. Speed talent: Pseudo-Mystic 30%. Defensive talent: Basic. This Emperor-level ferocious beast was not very strong but still much more powerful than the average Emperor-level beast. Its storm talent was a powerful ability capable of creating storms that could destroy a super base if not hindered by other Emperor-level forces. Yi Tian copied the mystic-level storm talent from the Windwalker beast and swiftly killed it with a single strike, as the beast, with only basic defensive talent, could not withstand even one of his attacks. After integrating the mystic-level storm talent, Yi Tian did not seek out more mystic-level talents as he had already used his 2 copying opportunities and needed to wait another half a month. He then established a temporary cave dwelling and entered a state of cultivation to further develop his deep brain domain. Following this pattern, every time Yi Tian copied 2 mystic-level talents, he would enter a closed-door meditation for 15 days to wait for the cooldown period of his talent copying ability to end. In the blink of an eye, 5 months had passed. By this time, Yi Tian's cultivation had significantly increased despite the time spent searching for mystic-level talents. He had developed 90% of his deep brain domain and was not far from reaching the pinnacle of saint level. He had also amassed many mystic-level talents. Strength talent: Mystic. Defensive talent: Mystic. Extreme speed talent: God level. Water shield talent: Mystic. Fire domain talent: Mystic. Earth spike talent: Mystic. Vine talent: Mystic. Storm talent: Mystic. Moon god talent: Mystic. Yi Tian had now gathered 9 talents above the mystic level, including 1 god level talent. Technically, this array of mystic talents should have been sufficient. However, Yi Tian was still not satisfied. He wanted to integrate another god level talent. But he faced a difficult choice. Water shield talent and fire domain talent can be merged into a god level talent containing the mystery of both water and fire. However, if I also combine the water shield, fire domain, earth spike, vine, and a mystic level metal talent, I could form a 5 elements god level talent. If I choose the water fire god level talent, I might never be able to form the 5 elements god level talent, Yi Tian pondered. He hesitated because of this dilemma. A god level talent in water and fire would undoubtedly be inferior to a 5 elements god level talent. He was only 1 mystic level metal talent away from achieving this, and it seemed a pity to give up now. After much thought, Yi Tian decided, I can't give up. I haven't yet stepped into the Emperor level, and even if I form the Water Fire God level talent now, it won't significantly enhance my strength. So, there's no need to rush into merging the Water Shield and Fire Domain talents. With this decision, Yi Tian prepared to continue searching for a mystic level metal talent. Although such talents were rare and dependent on luck, he might quickly find one. After 10 days of searching, Yi Tian had not found any mystic level or even top level metal talents. However, that day, he found a talent of great use. Species: Nightmare Beast. Bloodline talent: Top. Hypnosis talent: Top. Speed talent: High. Feign Death talent: Top. Yi Tian was pleasantly surprised upon encountering the Nightmare Beast, a top-level ferocious beast. The Hypnosis and Feign Death talents were exceedingly rare. Copy. freewebnovel.com Without hesitation, Yi Tian copied these 2 talents and then swiftly decapitated the nightmare beast. A beast capable of hypnotizing humans could easily extract a large amount of information from them. If it ever acquired a treasure to enhance its bloodline talent, it would undoubtedly become a nightmare for humanity, true to its name. Therefore, he could not allow such a beast to live. Chapter 194, The 12 Ferocious Beast Overlords. Hypnosis Talent, Merge. Feign Death Talent, Merge. Yi Tian successively merged these 2 talents, making them his own. Among them, the Feign Death talent was particularly useful in certain special situations. It allowed Yi Tian to enter a state of feigned death, where his life aura would drop to 0, making him appear as a dead person. If Yi Tian utilized the Feign Death talent, even some emperor-level beings might believe he was dead, unable to detect any trickery. However, this tactic was not applicable among ferocious beasts. After all, following their battles, these creatures would even consume corpses. What use would feigning death have in such a scenario? At this moment, what Yi Tian valued more was the hypnosis talent, which was of great utility to him. He could hypnotize some ferocious beasts and gather intelligence about them, such as the locations of mystic-level metal-type talents. Although most ferocious beasts possessed significant intelligence and were difficult to interrogate, those above the saint level usually had enough intelligence to provide some information. This was much faster than searching aimlessly for mystic-level metal-type talents on his own. Swoosh. While flying, Yi Tian searched for saint-level ferocious beasts and soon spotted one. It was a saint-level zebra beast. Buzz. The hypnosis talent enveloped the zebra beast, instantly hypnotizing it. Where can I find a ferocious beast with a mystic-level metal-type talent? Yi Tian touched the soul of the zebra beast with his divine consciousness and inquired. The zebra beast's consciousness transmitted a thought, I don't know. Yi Tian frowned. Although somewhat disappointed, he wasn't surprised by this response. If it had been so easy to find the location of mystic-level metal-type talents, he would have been truly astonished. He continued to question the zebra beast. However, given its relatively weak strength in the world of ferocious beasts and limited exposure to secrets, it was mostly ignorant. After casually killing the zebra beast, Yi Tian continued his search for other beasts to hypnotize. A day later, Yi Tian became somewhat disheartened. The saint-level beasts knew too little, largely confined to their own small territories and unaware of happenings in other areas. Naturally, they couldn't provide much information to Yi Tian. I must hypnotize an emperor-level beast. Yi Tian planned. However, the souls of emperor-level beasts were more than 10 times stronger than those of saint-level beasts, making them not so easy to hypnotize. But Yi Tian had his methods. Soon enough, he found an ordinary emperor-level beast. Soul-piercing talent. Yi Tian launched a soul attack at the emperor-level beast. Peef! With one strike, the soul of the emperor-level beast was severely wounded. Seizing the opportunity, Yi Tian activated his hypnosis talent. Where is the ferocious beast with mystic-level metal-type talent? Yi Tian asked. The Iron Ox Emperor has a mystic-level metal-type talent. The consciousness of the emperor-level beast transmitted back. The Iron Ox Emperor. Yi Tian's heart stirred, finally finding a clue. He couldn't help but get excited and quickly asked, where is the Iron Ox Emperor? The Iron Ox Emperor should have gone to compete for the Holy Dragon Fruit. The beast revealed another piece of information. Holy Dragon Fruit. Yi Tian was very curious. He asked the Emperor-level beast many questions and thus gained an understanding of the so-called Holy Dragon Fruit. According to the legend, the Holy Dragon Fruit is a fruit grown from the Holy Dragon Tree, a celestial spirit root. The Holy Dragon Tree blooms once every 3,000 years, bears fruit once every 3,000 years, and the fruit takes another 3,000 years to mature. Only then does a mature Holy Dragon Fruit appear. The purpose of the Holy Dragon Fruit is to enhance bloodline talents, elevating an Emperor-level beast with Moonlight-level bloodline talent to a Dawn-level bloodline talent. Moreover, the Holy Dragon Tree produces only 9 Holy Dragon Fruits at a time, meaning that there could be 9 Emperor-level beasts with Dawn-level bloodline talents. Yi Tian was truly shocked by this news. If 9 Dawn-level bloodline talent Emperor-level beasts were indeed born, Zonghai Super Base would be in grave danger. At this point, he also guessed why the Black Beast had left and why the ferocious beasts had retreated. They must have gone to compete for the Holy Dragon Fruit. Compared to the Holy Dragon Fruit, attacking humans was undoubtedly a trivial matter. Do you have beasts above the Emperor level in your world of ferocious beasts? Yi Tian asked, curious about something he really wanted to know. I'm not sure. The Emperor-level beast gave an ambiguous answer. The last time 9 Emperor-level beasts obtained the Holy Dragon Fruit, they indeed could become beings above the Emperor level. But afterward, they disappeared. Maybe they are sleeping somewhere or have left the ferocious beast world. The emperor-level beasts were aware that there were other worlds beyond theirs. Thus, many believed that these beings above the emperor level had left their world. However, some thought that these powerful creatures, almost invincible, had entered a voluntary slumber to pass the dull time. Yi Tian frowned deeply. This news was not good for him. If there were indeed beasts above the emperor level, humans, even with the war god tower, could not contend with them. However, since these beings above the emperor level had not appeared for so long, even if they were still in the world of ferocious beasts, they would likely be in deep slumber and not easily awaken. Thinking this, Yi Tian breathed a sigh of relief. Additionally, Yi Tian learned that the holy dragon fruit was not yet mature and would take at least 5 more months to ripen. Although this emperor-level beast knew this information, it dared not go after the fruit due to its lack of qualification. Only emperor-level beasts like the Iron Ox Emperor, barely qualified to go, could truly compete for the holy dragon fruit. According to this emperor-level beast, the only ones really qualified to fight for it were the 12 overlord emperor-level beasts of ferocious beast world. Each of these 12 overlords had lived for nearly 1,000 years or more and possessed immense talent. Each had undergone more than 10 bloodline transformations, with the 10th transformation known as the Great Transformation, significantly stronger than the 9th transformation of an emperor-level beast. With great talent and having completed more than 10 bloodline transformations, such emperor-level beasts were known as the overlords of the ferocious beasts. Yi Tian also learned from this emperor-level beast the origin of the Black Beast. One of the 12 dominant beasts, the Black Dragon Overlord. The Black Dragon Overlord was not a true Black Dragon but a sub-dragon with only a third of Black Dragon blood. Having completed more than 10 bloodline transformations, the exact number was unknown to this emperor-level beast. It only knew that the Black Dragon Overlord was extremely powerful, easily capable of slaughtering a large group of emperor-level beasts. Bloodline transformation should be similar to humans breaking through physical limits. The Black Dragon Overlord should be equivalent to a human breaking through more than 10 physical limits. Combined with its immense talent, not inferior to the special talents of the 36 emperor-level beings, it far surpasses the attack of the Battle Axe Emperor and others, Yi Tian realized. At this moment, he was somewhat troubled. He now knew the approximate location of the Holy Dragon Tree, but he dared not go there. With so many emperor-level beasts and the 12 dominants of ferocious beasts, his invisibility talent might not be enough to remain hidden. If even one of those emperor-level beasts saw through his invisibility talent, he would have no way to escape. After much contemplation, Yi Tian finally thought of a plan. Chapter 195, Volcanic Body Refinement, Advancing to Emperor Level. First, I'll strive to reach the Emperor level, then use my pseudo-mystic talent to disguise as an Emperor-level ferocious beast, and finally use my invisibility talent to sneak into the area of the Holy Dragon Tree. Even if my invisibility talent is discovered, others will only think I'm an Emperor-level ferocious beast. Yi Tian thought this plan was quite good. However, this could only be done after reaching the Emperor level. If he disguised himself as a Saint-level ferocious beast now, he would certainly be killed. A Saint-level ferocious beast intruding into the territory of the Holy Dragon Tree would be provoking a group of Emperor-level ferocious beasts, definitely inciting a group attack. 5 months, Emperor level. Yi Tian felt this task was very easy. During these months, he also found many spiritual medicines using his treasure-seeking talent. After identification, some of them could assist in unlocking the deep brain domain, thereby accelerating his cultivation. As long as he continued to diligently cultivate and use the spiritual medicines that assist in unlocking his brain domain in the coming months, he could definitely strive to reach the Emperor level before 5 months were up. Yi Tian decided that for the next few months, unless he encountered a mystic-level talent, he would devote all other time to cultivation or searching for spiritual medicines that could assist in unlocking his brain domain. With his treasure-seeking and hypnosis talents, he could easily hypnotize ferocious beasts to find out the locations of spiritual medicines, then use his treasure-seeking talent to find them. His speed in finding treasures was incredibly fast. Cultivate. Find spiritual medicines. Yi Tian started to get busy, cultivating day and night, working harder than ever before. Every cultivation session was performed with 3 times time acceleration. In the first month, Yi Tian unlocked 3% of his deep brain domain, bringing his total to 93%. In the second month, he was lucky to find a high-quality spiritual medicine that accelerated the unlocking of the deep brain domain, achieving an additional 4%, reaching 97%. The third month was less fortunate. He found a lot of other spiritual medicines, but none that could assist in unlocking the brain domain. As the process became more difficult, probably nearing its limit, he only managed to unlock an additional 2%. In the 4th month, Yi Tian fully focused on unlocking the remaining 1% of his brain domain, spending an entire month to finally succeed, reaching 100%. Having unlocked 100% of his brain domain, Yi Tian had reached the pinnacle of the saint level. At this point, he felt his soul had become incredibly strong, and his memory reached a terrifying level. It seemed he had gained a premonitory ability, able to anticipate attacks in advance. Even if someone mentioned his name, he would sense it. In novels, when someone utters a great expert's name, they can know across billions of worlds. Maybe one day, this ability could truly be realized. Yi Tian shook his head, dismissing the thought. His current priority was to break through to the Emperor level. Previously, he and Yue had a detailed discussion about the key to breaking through to the Emperor level, either using Yuan Qi to temper his body or using attribute powers. Once the body's limits were broken, one would step into the Emperor level. Tempering the body with Yuan Qi is too slow. There's only 1 month left until the ripening of the Holy Dragon Fruit. If I use Yuan Qi to temper my body in an attempt to break through to the Emperor level, 1 month is definitely not enough. I must use other methods to break through to the Emperor level, aiming to achieve it in about 10 days. Yi Tian planned. The world of ferocious beasts was vast, with no shortage of places suitable for breaking through to the Emperor level. Using his hypnosis talent, Yi Tian casually inquired among the beasts and soon learned of a suitable place. Fire Dragon Mountain. Fire Dragon Mountain was an active volcano, containing rich fire Yuan Qi. Yi Tian, with his mystic level fire domain talent, could completely absorb the power of the volcano to temper his body. Tempering the body for the first time and breaking physical limits were relatively easy. Using the power of the volcano, he should be able to break his limits quickly and ascend to the Emperor level. Moreover, being an individual with a perfect foundation naturally gave him an advantage in breaking physical limits, as Yue had told Yi Tian. I've arrived. Yi Tian gazed at the vast mountain range before him, resembling a dragon. This was a dragon vein, but at the head of the dragon was a volcanic crater. Such a mountain range was known as the Fire Dragon Vein. The Fire Dragon Vein was suitable for fire attribute ferocious beasts to inhabit. Therefore, many ferocious beasts gathered here, with the area around Fire Dragon Mountain occupied by a fire attribute Emperor level ferocious beast. Swish! Yi Tian approached Fire Dragon Mountain. Just then, a huge dragon-like beast burst out of the Fire Dragon Mountain. Species: Fire-breathing dragon beast. Bloodline talent: Moonlight. Defense talent: Top. Flame talent: Mystic. Speed talent: Basic. Strength talent: Intermediate. Except for its flame talent, this fire-breathing dragon beast is really underwhelming. Yi Tian had seen many Emperor-level ferocious beasts. These beasts would try to elevate their basic or intermediate talents to above top level. In the world of ferocious beasts, there were many treasures that could enhance talents. As long as one was diligent and lucky, and did not perish, they could grow. But this Emperor-level beast, since occupying Fire Dragon Mountain, seemed to have never left, leading to its poor strength and speed talents. Die. With a strike of Starfall Slash, Yi Tian killed it, completely taking over Fire Dragon Mountain. Whoosh! He stepped into the mouth of Fire Dragon Mountain. Yi Tian saw countless magma, rich with intense fire Yuan Qi. Indeed a treasure land. Yi Tian took off his clothes and directly entered the magma. As a being at the pinnacle of the saint level, the so-called magma was like a hot spring to him. Absorb. A great amount of fire Yuan Qi was absorbed by Yi Tian. He then activated the imprints of his mystic level fire domain talent to refine the fire Yuan Qi, using it to temper his body. Under the tempering of countless fire Yuan Qi, Yi Tian's body was completely covered in firelight, as if he was ablaze. Refining the body by bathing in fire. At this moment, Yi Tian was tempering himself like a piece of iron, refining impurities to achieve a transformation. Normally, tempering the body with fire Yuan Qi is painful, but Yi Tian, possessing a mystic level fire domain talent, felt only a warm sensation without any pain. Days passed. Yi Tian's physical body became stronger and stronger, and on the 10th day, he touched the first limit of his body. For those with Morning Star level cultivation talents, even after reaching the first physical limit, breaking it would be extremely difficult, unless they had some heaven-defying treasure. However, this was different from previously breaking limits in refining skin, flesh, bones, blood, and the 5 viscera. This was about breaking the limits of the entire body, evolving it entirely. For those with moonlight level cultivation talents, breaking the first physical limit was easy, and for Yi Tian with his dawn level talent, it was even simpler. Break! Yi Tian shouted in his heart. The invisible shackles were shattered by the onslaught of fire yuan qi. The first physical limit was broken. His physical strength surged tenfold, reaching 100 dragon power. His defense and speed also greatly increased. Yi Tian's life essence also surged, extending his lifespan to 3,000 years. With this, Yi Tian truly stepped into the Emperor level. Chapter 196, Invisibility Talent Seen Through. Upon reaching the Emperor level, Yi Tian's strength surged manifold. His physical strength reached 100 dragon power, and with the amplification of Yuan force, it could reach 200 dragon power. His mystic level strength talent boosted it 100-fold, and Starfall Slash a further 30-fold. Thus, Yi Tian's maximum attack power could reach 600,000 dragon power. However, Yi Tian also possessed a god-level extreme speed talent, top-tier spatial talent, and basic time talent, along with many other mystic-level talents. His strength was sufficient to battle against beings with 1,000,000 dragon power. It could even be said that he was close to being invincible against powerful entities like the Battle Axe Emperor, who could only suppress but not kill him. He was getting closer to becoming the top figure at Zonghai Super Base. It's about time. I should head to the Holy Dragon Tree, Yi Tian said gravely. He then used his disguise talent to transform himself into a Ming illusion beast, a creature naturally gifted in disguise and invisibility. His transformation was nearly flawless. After disguising himself, Yi Tian became invisible and flew towards the Holy Dragon Tree. It took a long while before he arrived at the area of the Holy Dragon Tree. There, he sensed the presence of many Emperor-level ferocious beasts, but not a single Saint-level or lower realm beast, indicating that the weaker ones had been driven away by the Emperor-level beasts. This place was about to become a battleground for Emperor-level beasts. Soon, Yi Tian arrived in front of a colossal mountain, atop which stood a divine tree soaring into the heavens, the Holy Dragon Tree. Its bark resembled dragon scales, and its branches were like dragon tendons. The tree itself was shaped like a coiled dragon, justifying its esteemed name. At that moment, the Holy Dragon Tree bore 9 fruits, each the size of a head, emitting a fragrant aroma that permeated hundreds of thousands of miles. Countless Emperor-level beasts lurked nearby, eyeing the Holy Dragon fruits with immense desire. Once the fruits ripened, the ensuing battle would be unimaginably fierce. Initially, Yi Tian's invisibility prevented other Emperor-level beasts from noticing him. But soon, a cold voice rang out, "Which beast is hidden here, trying to stealthily pick the Holy Dragon fruits?" This was a universal beast language unique to this world, which Yi Tian understood thanks to his powerful memory learned while hypnotizing other beasts. As soon as the voice fell, a beam of light shot towards him. Boom! Yi Tian was hit. Although his invisibility talent was not broken, the light obstructed by his body revealed his position. Realizing that continued hiding would incite fury, Yi Tian dispelled his invisibility talent, revealing the body of the Ming illusion beast. A flurry of gazes turned towards him. "The legendary Ming illusion beast actually exists!" exclaimed a 1,000-kilometer-long turtle. It was one of the 12 overlords, the Zan turtle, known for its long life, vast experience, and amiable nature. Ming illusion beast, the mythical creature that can disguise and transform. I thought it was just a legend, but it really exists. However, this Ming illusion beast doesn't seem very powerful. It must have just ascended to the Emperor level, daring to compete for the Holy Dragon Fruit. Is it seeking death? It has an invisibility talent. If not for Lord Longmu's keen sight, it might have successfully stolen a Holy Dragon Fruit. Hearing these discussions, Yi Tian secretly felt fortunate. Luckily, he had used his disguise talent. Had he relied solely on his invisibility talent, his identity would have been exposed and he would have been torn apart by these ferocious beasts. Then, he looked towards the beast that had seen through his invisibility, a one-eyed creature, resembling an eel, with only one eye in the center of its forehead. Although Yi Tian was some distance away and couldn't examine the beast's talents in detail, he was certain that it possessed a special talent capable of penetrating invisibility. Ming illusion beast, you've just ascended to the Great Emperor level and have no right to compete for the Holy Dragon Fruit. Leave, the one-eyed Emperor level beast commanded as it charged towards him. The beast swung its tail fiercely, apparently aiming to kill Yi Tian in a single blow. In the brutal world of ferocious beasts, there was no mercy for the weak. An Emperor-level beast equal to the 36 Emperors. Yi Tian instantly assessed. To counter such a beast, relying solely on his mystic-level strength talent was insufficient. His physical strength was only 100 dragon power, and Yuan Qi amplification brought it to 200 dragon power. With the addition of his mystic level strength talent, he could exert 20,000 dragon power. Without using the star chop, even 20,000 dragon power wouldn't be enough to handle a weaker 36th layer emperor. The Dragon Eye Emperor level beast before him had an attack power of at least 100,000 dragon power, certainly not something to be taken head-on. God level extreme speed talent. Yi Tian activated this divine talent and swiftly dodged the beast's attack. He also managed to observe the opponent's talents. Species: Dragon Eye Crystal Beast. Bloodline talent: Moonlight. Crystal talent: Mystic. Strength talent: Mystic. Defense talent: Top. Speed talent: Top. Inside Eye talent: Top. Naturally, the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast's top-level speed talent was no match for Yi Tian's God-level extreme speed talent. Even if his cultivation was slightly inferior to the beast, the boost from his divine talent made him much faster. Thus, the beast's attack missed Yi Tian. If your speed and defense are lacking, why should I fear you? Yi Tian sneered. Immediately, he utilized his God-level extreme speed talent to close in on the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast and struck with a claw. Slash. With a tearing sound, his claws, enhanced by the slashing talent, turned into terrifying talons, tearing through the beast's thick scales and drawing copious blood. Having injured the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast, Yi Tian swiftly retreated. The beast roared and activated its mystic-level crystal talent, spreading a chilling aura that crystallized the ground and rocks. Against such a talent, speed would be constrained. Without revealing his true strength, Yi Tian would find it challenging to deal with the mystic-level crystal talent. However, at that moment, a voice rang out, he has the right to compete for the Holy Dragon Fruit. Dragon Eye, stop, the Zon Turtle Overlord spoke. Hearing the Zon Turtle Overlord voice, the Dragon Eye withdrew its crystal talent and retreated unwillingly. The authority of the 12 overlords was not to be underestimated, and provoking one meant certain death. Although the Zon Turtle was known for being approachable, this was only because no beast had provoked it. If angered, its reputed amicability would mean nothing. The Dragon Eye Crystal Beast, fearing the Zon Turtle, dared not disobey its command. Thank you, Zon Turtle Overlord. Yi Tian expressed his gratitude. Although the beast had helped him out of a difficult situation, a word of thanks was in order. The Zon Turtle nodded in satisfaction, then warned, little fellow, it's better for you to just watch. The Holy Dragon Fruit is not something you can seize. Chapter 197, The 5 Elements Transformation Talent. 9 Holy Dragon Fruits were at stake, coveted by 12 ferocious beast overlords, leaving none for other emperor-level ferocious beasts. Should any other emperor-level beast dare to contest, they would face the wrath of these 12 overlords. How many beasts could withstand the onslaught of the 12 ferocious beast overlords? Despite the impressive size of these emperor-level ferocious beasts, most were mere spectators, unlikely to engage in the fray. Yi Tian's true target was not the Holy Dragon Fruit but the mystic-level metal elemental talent. Soon, Yi Tian found an emperor-level ferocious beast named Iron Bull. Species: Iron Ox Armor Beast. Bloodline talent: Moonlight. Strength talent: Mystic. Defense talent: Mystic. Speed talent: Top level. Iron Armor talent: Mystic. Iron Armor talent. Yi Tian instantly took a liking to this talent. Though not an offensive-type metal talent, it was even rarer, being a defensive-type metal talent. If he could absorb this Iron Armor talent, his defensive capabilities would significantly increase. Copy the mystic-level Iron Armor talent. Yi Tian thought, and it was copied onto his hand. Next, Yi Tian copied the Inside Eye talent from a Dragon Eye Crystal Beast, a formidable talent capable of seeing through invisibility. Naturally, he had to copy it. With 2 talents copied, Yi Tian decided not to linger and sought a place to integrate these talents. It would take about 18 or 19 days for the Holy Dragon Fruit to ripen, staying here was a waste of time. So, Yi Tian stealthily left. The other emperor-level ferocious beasts assumed Yi Tian had been thwarted by the revelation of his invisibility talent and gave up on the Holy Dragon Fruit, leaving the area. The 12 beast overlords paid no mind to Yi Tian's departure. To them, Yi Tian was no threat. Their true adversaries were the 12 overlords among the other emperor-level beasts. However, the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast had set its sights on Yi Tian. Damning illusion beast, if it weren't for the intervention of the Zon Turtle Overlord, you would have been dead. You dared to injure me, an emperor, I will devour you. The Dragon Eye Crystal Beast harbored a murderous intent. Other emperor-level ferocious beasts feared Yi Tian's invisibility talent, but with its Inside Eye talent, the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast was undeterred. Whiz! Yi Tian and the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast quickly flew away from the Holy Dragon Tree, heading into the distance. Yi Tian noticed the pursuit of the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast but remained indifferent, even smirking secretly. If he could kill the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast, no other beast would detect his invisibility talent. Near the bustling Holy Dragon Tree, he couldn't unleash his true strength, but the beast foolishly followed him, courting death. The man and beast flew further away, soon leaving the Holy Dragon Tree area, beyond the sensing range of the 12 overlords. Thus, Yi Tian stopped in a forest. The Dragon Eye Crystal Beast also halted, closing in on Yi Tian. Ming Illusion Beast, you missed your chance to escape at full speed. What a pity, today you will surely die. The Dragon Eye Crystal Beast launched its crystal talent, intending to freeze the entire forest into a crystal forest and Yi Tian into a crystal statue. But in the next moment, it became perplexed. Before it, the Ming Illusion Beast transformed into a human, wielding a Morning Star level sword. Ming Illusion Beast, why turn into a human? The Dragon Eye Crystal Beast was immensely surprised. When Yi Tian's Morning Star level sword slashed down, the beast's expression changed drastically. It was a sword technique. Among ferocious beasts, only the Mantis clan, naturally possessing sword-like legs, knew sword techniques. How could the Ming Illusion Beast, a ferocious beast, have any connection with sword techniques? Unless, human, the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast realized a possibility. The human before it was not a transformation of the Ming Illusion Beast, but rather a human disguised with a talent for mimicry. It and the other Emperor-level ferocious beasts had been deceived. Escape. This thought crossed the mind of the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast. However, Yi Tian's space constriction descended, freezing the surrounding void. After ascending to the Emperor level, Yi Tian's top-level space talent had grown immensely stronger, and his ability to constrain space had increased manifold. The Dragon Eye Crystal Beast, barely an Emperor-level entity, was no match for the top-level space talent and found its speed drastically reduced. Top-level space talent, how could you possess such a terrifying talent? The Dragon Eye Crystal Beast was utterly shocked and terrified. Don't kill me, please, I beg you. It pleaded. Yi Tian ignored its pleas and launched his Soul Spike talent. PFF'd. The Soul Spike pierced into the soul of the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast, obliterating most of its spirit. The severely soul-damaged beast wailed in agony, its aura greatly diminished. Yi Tian could have easily killed the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast, but he chose not to, as he planned to take over its body. He possessed a high-level soul transfer talent, allowing his spirit to move into the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast's body. To ensure a 100% safe transfer, given the powerful soul of the beast, he used his Soul Spike talent to severely weaken its spirit. Holding the gravely injured Dragon Eye Crystal Beast, Yi Tian arrived at a safe mountain range and carved out a small cave underground. He tossed the dying beast aside and began to integrate the recently copied Insight Eye and Iron Armor talents. Before long, Yi Tian had fully integrated both talents. Iron Armor talent, activate. Suddenly, a set of iron armor appeared on Yi Tian, amplifying his defense by 100 times. Combined with his own mystic-level defense talent, this amounted to a 200-fold defense increase. The iron armor talent is indeed impressive, but it still needs to be integrated into my 5 elements talent, Yi Tian decided. He was unsure what the merged 5 elements talent would look like, but he was not going to miss this opportunity. Merge. Yi Tian activated the merging function of his copied talents. Thus, the Mystic-level Fire Domain talent, Mystic-level Water Shield talent, Mystic-level Vine talent, Mystic-level Earth Spike talent, and Mystic-level Iron Armor talent began to merge. During the process, he also kept an eye on the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast, fearing it might escape. However, the beast, having lost most of its soul, was in a state of collapse and no longer a threat to Yi Tian. An hour later, Yi Tian had completely merged the 5 Mystic-level talents, but he was drenched in sweat, nearly exhausted. Check. Yi Tian reviewed his talent status. The original 5 Mystic-level talents had vanished, replaced by a new one. 5 Elements Transformation talent, God level. As soon as his consciousness touched the talent imprint of the God level 5 Elements Transformation talent, Yi Tian understood its powerful effects. This God level talent could freely manifest the effects of the previous 5 talents, like transforming into a 5 Elements Fire Domain or a 5 Elements Iron Armor, with not a 100-fold but a whopping 500-fold amplification. Truly a God level talent. Yi Tian was overjoyed. His strength had greatly increased. Chapter 198. Target, the Holy Dragon Fruit. After resting for a while and seeing that the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast was about to die, Yi Tian performed the high-level Soul Transfer talent inside the cave. Soul Transfer talent, activate. Yi Tian's soul transformed into a beam of light and entered the body of the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast, quickly annihilating its remaining soul and completely occupying its body. 1 month's time should be enough. Yi Tian spoke using the body of the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast. The body of the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast was already unharmed, and now under Yi Tian's control, it could maintain its peak combat power, although his other talents had somewhat diminished, making it not as strong as his original body. However, the combat power of this Dragon Eye Crystal Beast body, now controlled by Yi Tian, was still at the level of the 36 emperors and much stronger than the original Dragon Eye Crystal Beast. After all, the God-level Extreme Speed talent and the God-level 5 Elements Transformation talent had only been reduced to the Mystic level, making this body significantly stronger than before. Having taken over this body of the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast, I can fully compete for the Holy Dragon Fruit. Even if I fail, it doesn't matter. I had checked earlier, and among the 12 ferocious beast overlords, there are no soul talent possessors. The only soul talent possessor among the other emperor-level ferocious beasts has only an intermediate soul talent, not even comparable to my soul spike talent. They can't kill my soul, allowing me to return to my body in time. Yi Tian was not at all panicked. Since he couldn't die, if he still didn't dare to compete for the Holy Dragon Fruit, wouldn't it be too cowardly? He was also very interested in the Holy Dragon Fruit. If the Holy Dragon Fruit could enhance the bloodline talents of ferocious beasts, could it not also enhance the cultivation talents of humans? If that's possible, wouldn't it elevate a human's cultivation talent to the Dawn level? He didn't care about Dawn level cultivation talent, but others did. His sister Yu and Yuei both needed Dawn level cultivation talent. If he could obtain 2 Holy Dragon Fruits, he could give them to his sister and Yuei. For his sister and Yuei, he must compete for the Holy Dragon Fruit. The Holy Dragon Fruit matures only once every 9,000 years. If he missed this opportunity, he would have to wait another 9,000 years, and he couldn't wait that long, nor could his sister and Yuei. This time, he was determined to obtain it. Next, he arranged his original body well, setting up various hidden and defensive formations to prevent his body from being harmed. After completing all these preparations, Yi Tian emerged from underground and came to the outside world. freewebnovel.com. In the outside world, Yi Tian familiarized himself with this body to ensure there were no issues in combat, and then flew towards the Holy Dragon Tree area. Before long, Yi Tian returned to the vicinity of the Holy Dragon Tree. At that moment, many ferocious beasts turned their gaze towards him, not fools, naturally knowing that the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast went to hunt the Ming Illusion Beast in haste, simply curious whether the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast had killed the Ming Illusion Beast or not. An emperor-level ferocious beast asked, "Dragon Eye, did you kill that Ming Illusion Beast?" Yi Tian casually replied, "HMPH, if not for that Ming Illusion Beast being slightly faster, it would have been dead for sure." The meaning of this sentence was clear: the pursuit had failed. The other emperor-level ferocious beasts chuckled a few times, seemingly mocking the incapability of the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast. The Dragon Eye Crystal Beast itself wasn't strong, so they weren't afraid of it, and its insightful eye talent was useless against them. They might fear the Ming Illusion Beast, but not the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast. Yi Tian didn't care either. He wasn't the real Dragon Eye Crystal Beast, the real one was already dead. Time passed bit by bit, and the fragrance of the Holy Dragon Fruit on the Holy Dragon Tree became more and more intense, absorbing countless yuan qi, with the day of maturity fast approaching. A few more days passed. Faint dragon shadows appeared on the Holy Dragon Fruits, turning them golden yellow. Seeing this phenomenon, all the emperor-level ferocious beasts knew that the Holy Dragon Fruits were about to mature. Once the phenomenon roared, and billions of golden lights emanated from the Holy Dragon Fruits, it would be the true day of maturity. At the moment, it was not yet time to vie for them, as doing so would only yield a useless Holy Dragon Fruit. If anyone dared to seize the Holy Dragon Fruits prematurely, the 12 ferocious beast overlords would definitely not be merciful and would unite to annihilate them. On this day, all the emperor-level ferocious beasts became restless, their gazes fixed on the Holy Dragon Fruits, because today was the day of their maturation. Suddenly, the sounds of dragon roars were heard, and the dragon shadows on the 9 Holy Dragon Fruits roared into the void, as if 9 real dragons were howling. Then, billions of golden lights burst forth from the 9 Holy Dragon Fruits, covering hundreds of thousands of miles. In an instant, the entire area turned into a world of golden light. The phenomenon came quickly and disappeared just as swiftly. In the blink of an eye, the golden light dispersed, the phenomenon dissipated, and the 9 Holy Dragon Fruits truly matured. However, after the maturation of the holy dragon fruits, the holy dragon tree exerted a powerful suppressive force. The weaker emperor-level ferocious beasts were somewhat distressed, and even the 12 ferocious beast overlords were affected, their strength greatly reduced. Suppressed. Yi Tian frowned. The holy dragon tree was too strange. A mere tree could suppress emperor-level ferocious beasts. Could it be that the tree had consciousness? Without much time to ponder, the battle for the fruits began. The 12 ferocious beast overlords rushed towards the 9 holy dragon fruits on the peak, and the battle erupted in an instant. However, no matter how powerful the remnants of the battle were, they couldn't destroy a single branch of the holy dragon tree, not even the mountain itself, showing the sturdiness and strength of the mountain and the holy dragon tree. Zon Turtle, you're too old, already over 10,000 years old. Even with your long life, you can't live much longer. Even if you seize a holy dragon fruit and elevate your bloodline talent to the dawn level, you still can't step into the next realm. Better to leave the holy dragon fruit for us younger emperor beasts, the black dragon overlord taunted as it lashed its tail at Zon Turtle, laughing wildly. However, Zon Turtle calmly took the hit from the black dragon overlord tail, speaking calmly, just a lesser dragon. Do you think you're a real black dragon? A mere 1,000-year-old youngster dares to disrespect me. Your attack is barely a tickle to me. The 12 ferocious beast overlords clashed with each other, and in the meantime, other fast ferocious beasts rushed to try to snatch a holy dragon fruit, but they were casually killed by the overlords. For any emperor-level ferocious beast other than the top 12, approaching meant certain death. I only need one holy dragon fruit, declared one of the 12 overlords, the golden horned silver emperor, as he flung another overlord aside and grabbed a holy dragon fruit. The other overlords didn't dare to stop him, letting the golden horned silver emperor leave. If 3 or 4 of the other 11 overlords united, they could possibly defeat the golden horned silver emperor, hailed as the #1 overlord, but such cooperation was unlikely at this time. Thus, unable to defeat the golden horned silver emperor, they could only let him leave. Now there are only 8 holy dragon fruits left. Yi Tian felt tense. With one less holy dragon fruit, the competition intensified. However, he still didn't reveal himself and act. To do so now would only needlessly sacrifice this dragon eye crystal beast body. Chapter 199, Seizing the Prize. Yi Tian was acutely aware that the remaining 11 fearsome beast overlords had not yet resorted to desperate measures. If he attempted to stealthily snatch a dragon fruit at this moment, escape would be impossible. Although the 11 beast overlords couldn't detect his stealth talent, they could launch area of effect attacks. With his speed, he can't escape even if he teleports. With only 8 holy dragon fruits left, the 11 beast overlords would certainly not let one be easily stolen. They would soon engage in a fierce battle to prevent the other beast overlords from snatching the dragon fruits. In this way, the battle will slowly turn desperate. This would be Yi Tian's chance. He could stealthily approach the holy dragon tree and seize a dragon fruit. Even if the 11 beast overlords noticed him, they would be too caught up in their deadly fight to react in time. This would provide Yi Tian with a chance to escape. Of course, if Yi Tian fled, the beast overlords would definitely launch a barrage of attacks. However, if he could withstand a few waves of their assault, there was hope he could survive. Most crucially, the beast overlords couldn't all chase after him, as they wouldn't foolishly abandon the remaining dragon fruits on the tree. The odds of Yi Tian's success were still quite high. Soon, the 11 beast overlords began to fight more fiercely, truly putting their lives on the line. I must act now, Yi Tian thought, his eyes flickering with determination. If he delayed any longer, the remaining 8 holy dragon fruits would be plucked by them, and it would be unrealistic to try to snatch them from the beast overload then. Whoosh! Yi Tian activated his stealth talent and approached the dragon fruit tree. At this moment, the attention of the other emperor-level ferocious beasts was solely on the dragon fruits and the battle of the 11 beast overlords, completely unaware of Yi Tian's disappearance. Being invisible, Yi Tian swiftly flew towards the tree. Even though his rapid flight and collision with their aura caused yuan force ripples, it was insignificant compared to the massive yuan force fluctuations caused by the battling beast overlords. Amidst such an intense battle, they would not notice the ripple caused by Yi Tian. In an instant, Yi Tian was close to a dragon fruit. His target was not 1, but 2 dragon fruits. Dragon fruits that grew on the dragon tree were not easily plucked. Otherwise, the 9 fruits would have been blown away in the aftermath of the battle. The dragon eye crystal beast didn't have claws, although it could manifest them, but plucking 2 dragon fruits would be time-consuming, even a tenth of a second's delay was too much. Use the spatial blade, Yi Tian decided instantly. Slash! The spatial blade appeared, cutting down 2 dragon fruits in one strike. As he launched his attack, Yi Tian's figure was revealed. However, he did not panic. He swallowed the 2 rapidly falling dragon fruits, storing them inside his body, and prepared to flee. Dragon eyes, you're seeking death. The furious roars of the beast overlords echoed. They were enraged. While they were busy fighting and preventing other beast overlords from stealing dragon fruits, a minor emperor-level dragon eye crystal beast dared to snatch 2 fruits. Even the top beast overlord, the golden-horned silver emperor, wouldn't dare to do such a thing. Kill. They attacked in rage. Brilliant light almost engulfed Yi Tian. Teleport. Spatial blade. After unleashing a spatial blade, Yi Tian instantly teleported away, even activating his time talent. Thousands of miles away, half of Yi Tian's body teleported in, while the other half was annihilated. Since it was the body of a dragon eye crystal beast, he wasn't particularly concerned. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. 3 beast overlords pursued him, including the black dragon overlord, the Zon turtle lord, and the black tiger overlord. As for the other beast overlords, they didn't join the chase. As for the other fearsome beast overlords, they did not pursue him. They weren't foolish. If another beast overlord joined the chase, then 4 of them would be vying for 2 dragon fruits, while the remaining 7 would be left to compete for the 6 dragon fruits still on the tree. It was clear which option was more advantageous, and they were not incapable of making such calculations. Only 3 beast overlords. Yi Tian observed as the divine consciousness of the 3 beast overlords instantly covered an area of hundreds of thousands of miles, encompassing him as well. I can't use stealth, he thought. If he used stealth, he couldn't teleport, as teleportation would disrupt the stealth ability. In a stealth state, he could only fly. Doing anything else would render the ability too overpowered. Such an invincible power couldn't possibly exist in the world. He couldn't use stealth now, as there were no ferocious beasts in this area. If he was here, he would easily be found by their area of effect attacks. Teleport, teleport, teleport. Yi Tian activated the bloodline power of the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast, teleporting without reserve. Yet, even so, he was quickly caught up. But Yi Tian had achieved his goal. There were many ferocious beasts in this area. Boom! A lesser dragon's tail struck, hitting Yi Tian. 5 elements transformation talent, 5 elements iron armor. Mystic level defensive talent, pseudo-mystic level diamond bone talent. Yi Tian deployed 3 defensive talents in succession, greatly enhancing his defense, much stronger than the defense of the Blood Eye Witch Emperor. The Black Dragon Overlord could kill the Blood Eye Witch Emperor in one hit, but definitely not him. With a thunderous boom, Yi Tian's body was sent flying, crashing into the earth. At that moment, the Zon Turtle's attack arrived, a water column annihilating all life within 100,000 miles, naturally covering Yi Tian as well. Inside the earth, Yi Tian's body was critically injured and on the brink of death, but he didn't care. Disguise talent. He instantly disguised himself as a common pangolin emperor-level ferocious beast and activated his feign death talent. At that moment, he looked just like a pangolin that had died as a result of the collateral damage. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The 3 beast overlords arrived, scanning the area with their divine consciousness, but they did not detect Yi Tian. It can use stealth. It must have turned invisible. The Zon Turtle realized. Boom, boom, boom. Area of effect attacks descended upon the area, and Yi Tian, disguised as a pangolin, suffered again, enduring the onslaught with his 3 defensive abilities. After all, these were only area of effect attacks, not focused ones, so he could withstand them. After several attacks, the 3 beast overlords still didn't discover Yi Tian. Normally, they would be able to sense a hidden creature once hit, but now they couldn't, proving that no creature was hiding in this area. Damn, it must have teleported away while we were distracted, let's pursue. The Black Dragon Overlord roared angrily. They couldn't delay, or they would miss out on the holy dragon fruits. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The 3 beast overlords immediately left, searching other areas. I must leave immediately. If the 3 beast overlords think it through carefully, they'll realize that it wasn't the real Dragon Eye Crystal Beast and will suspect the first to leave, the Ming Illusion Beast. The Dragon Eye Crystal Beast naturally can't use stealth, nor Space Blade and teleport. They'll definitely think the Ming Illusion Beast impersonated the Dragon Eye Crystal Beast to steal the fruits. Later, they will certainly return to inspect the corpses of these ferocious beasts, and I'll be exposed then. Thus, Yi Tian quickly entered a stealth state and swiftly flew away in another direction. Chapter 200. The Second Limit Breakthrough of the Emperor Level. After a long time, Yi Tian had already flown a great distance. The vastness of the beast world was so immense that the beast overlords could not find him. He had succeeded. The 2 holy dragon fruits truly belonged to him now. Elsewhere, the 6 holy dragon fruits on the holy dragon tree had already been snatched away by 6 beast overlords, who immediately fled, fearing an attack from those who had failed to seize any of the fruits. The Zon tortoise overlord, the black dragon overlord, and the black tiger overlord failed to find any trace of Yi Tian, losing all hope. Soon, they realized that the so-called dragon eye crystal beast was definitely a fake. As an infamous emperor-level beast in the beast world, although they did not hold it in high regard, they knew of its abilities. It wouldn't have powers like invisibility, teleportation, or space blades. Invisibility was a skill of the previously encountered Ming illusion beast. The dragon eye crystal beast went after the Ming illusion beast earlier. The one that returned with the ability to turn invisible must have been a fake. The real dragon eye crystal beast must have been killed, and it was the Ming illusion beast in disguise. Roared the black dragon overlord in anger. Suddenly, wait, the dragon eye, no, the Ming illusion beast that disappeared from that land, could it have disguised itself as another beast? The black dragon overlord returned. The Zon turtle overlord and black tiger overlord also came back, arriving at the devastated land. The 3 beast overlords used their divine senses to sweep the area, recalling the previous situation. With their excellent memories, they quickly noticed the differences between then and now. A pangolin's corpse has disappeared. All the beasts in this area are dead, it's impossible for another beast to have eaten the pangolin's corpse. Exclaimed the Zon turtle overlord in shock. The 3 beast overlords exchanged glances, considering a possibility. The pangolin was actually the Ming illusion beast in disguise, but it appeared to be dead. That Ming illusion beast even feigned death and deceived us. Exclaimed the black tiger overlord, his pupils constricting in surprise. In an underground cave, Yi Tian's hiding place. Yi Tian had returned. By this time, the body of the dragon eye crystal beast he inhabited was in tatters. If not for the need to bring back the 2 holy dragon fruits, he would have abandoned this beast body long ago. Upon his return, Yi Tian took out the 2 holy dragon fruits from his mouth, placed them on the ground, and immediately released his high-level soul transfer talent, returning his soul to his original body. Without the soul, the body of the dragon eye crystal beast became a completely broken corpse. 2 holy dragon fruits. Yi Tian stared intently at the 2 fruits, his heart overflowing with excitement. Store them away. He stored the 2 holy dragon fruits in his personal space and then left the area. He did not rush back to Zonghai Super Base but planned to further enhance his strength before returning. With his current strength, he could even rival the Battle Axe Emperor, but that was still far from enough. Compared to the Black Dragon Overlord, he still had a long way to go. If he wanted to protect Yuei, his sister, and Zonghai Super Base, he must have strength comparable to the Black Dragon Overlord. Yi Tian planned to achieve a level of breaking through his body's limit twice or even thrice before returning. By then, even if he could not defeat the Black Dragon Overlord, he would at least be able to survive against him, avoiding being helplessly hunted down. On this day, Yi Tian returned to Fire Dragon Mountain, intending to use Fire Yuan Qi to further temper his body. At least for now, the effects of Fire Yuan Qi were still excellent for rapidly enhancing his physical strength. As days swiftly passed, Yi Tian continuously tempered his body with the Fire Yuan Qi from the magma, growing stronger each day. During this tempering process, he utilized a triple time acceleration, and with his Dawn-level tempering talent, his progress was exceptionally rapid. According to Yu, breaking through the second body limit is the simplest first bottleneck in the Emperor-level tempering phase. It usually takes about 10 years to break this bottleneck. Breaking the third body limit, however, requires at least 34 years, or even 40 to 50 years without sufficient opportunities and talent. Yuei, with her Moon Sect inheritance and several fortuitous encounters, only recently broke through her third body limit. Even the Battle Axe Emperor has only just surpassed the third body limit. Yi Tian mused to himself. An Emperor-level expert with a Moonlight-level tempering talent would need 10 years to break the second body limit, but he didn't. With his Dawn-level tempering talent, which was at least 5 times faster, he would only need 2 years. And with the triple time acceleration, it would take at most 8 months to break the second body limit. The Fire Yuan Qi of Fire Dragon Mountain was effective in speeding up the process. Yi Tian calculated that he might only need half a year to break through the second body limit. By then, his strength would significantly increase, enough to defeat a great emperor like the Battle Axe Emperor. So, Yi Tian stayed on Fire Dragon Mountain for half a year, tempering day and night, disguised as another beast to keep other beasts aware that the territory had a new master. In this undisturbed environment, Yi Tian tempered for over half a year. At the mouth of Fire Dragon Mountain, within the magma, Yi Tian was absorbing fire yuan qi in the magma. At this moment, his aura was constantly rising. He was striving to break through the second body limit at the emperor level. Once successful, his strength would surge dramatically. Breaking the second body limit was not difficult, so Yi Tian was not worried. Half an hour passed. With a loud boom, the magma exploded, shaking the entire Fire Dragon Mountain. A terrifying aura burst forth from Yi Tian. He had succeeded in the breakthrough. After half a year, I've finally broken the second body limit, with my bodily strength reaching 200 dragon power, doubling my overall strength. In terms of attack power, I'm now comparable to the Battle Axe Emperor, and with my numerous talents, he is no longer a match for me. Yi Tian was filled with confidence. After spending a few days to stabilize his realm, Yi Tian continued to temper. freewebnovel.com. However, he soon sensed that the effect of the fire yuan qi on his body had weakened. Indeed, relying solely on a single mystic level attribute talent for body tempering becomes less effective over time. If I continue to use fire yuan qi, it will take a long time to break the third body limit. Yi Tian couldn't endure such slow progress and needed to switch to another type of yuan qi for tempering. Thus, Yi Tian left Fire Dragon Mountain in search of a new place for tempering. After hypnotizing several beasts with his hypnosis talent, he finally discovered a suitable location, Hurricane Cliff. Hurricane Cliff was a unique place, with year-round hurricanes strong enough to tear apart king-level beasts. Apart from some wind attribute beasts that liked staying there, other beasts didn't dare to approach. The wind there was loud and annoying, and the risk of being blown away deterred the beasts from liking the place. But the wind yuan qi there was exactly what Yi Tian needed. With his mystic level storm talent, tempering in a place like Hurricane Cliff would definitely accelerate the tempering of his body.